78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
A group of moderates came to Chuck Schumer 2 weeks into the shutdown, 2 weeks in, and said, we're ready to reopen the government. And he said, no, hold out. Wow. No, hold out. Mid-October, he said to his entire caucus that if anyone tried to reopen the government, he would stand against them. That's according to sources that told Axios. So shame on Chuck Schumer. I know he's gotten the rap as the moderate, being beholden to the far left. No, he caused the pain. He pushed the pain through, along with Hakeem Jeffries. And it's quite sad to see the radical left take over that.
So we're going to watch a vote tonight, as I understand it, correct? Primetime vote for ending the shutdown in the House. That's what we're looking at, right?
As far as I understand it, that's been the plan.
We're going to have Congresswoman Mary Miller on with us in 15 minutes, a little bit less than 15 minutes. So I'll be interested to hear from her exactly how the House feels about a funding of the government, the CR, through January 30th. Do they feel good about that? Because that's a lot longer than November 21st. That's 2 months plus that the government is going to be funded at the levels that, of course, the Republicans definitely want to change the way the things that we're sending money to, where the money is coming from you, of course. Now it's going to feed into all of these other things. January 30th is a concession of sorts. It's a minimal concession, and it's really what has to be done in order for the government to be reopened. Because November 21st would have been, 9 days away from now.
Yeah, not many.
Not enough. So we'll watch and see if the House gets to take care of business. I think that the payment schedule, as I heard, that about 30% of the paycheck should be coming to the people who have, once the government has been reopened right away, people should be getting paid. But it's going to take a few days for all of that money that is back pay for a lot of federal employees to find them and to get everybody back up to speed. I got to think that there are a lot of federal employees that are just waiting with bated breath to get back to normal. It would be very difficult to just have your income like, oh, we'll get it to you. It's going to come, but we're not really 100% sure when. A 54-day shutdown. And I got to look at it from a political standpoint and think, what the heck did the Democrats get out of this? I can't really come up with much of anything that the Democrats won out of this. In the meantime, I'm seeing some discussion that people are all of a sudden not feeling so great about certain things that the president is bringing, to the table, part of his policy. Certainly, we talked a little bit last week about the 50-year mortgages. Was that just something he threw out in a conversation initially? Like, that wasn't revealed as hey, we've got a brand new option here. Wasn't he like talking about how there should be 50-year mortgages?
So from what I saw of the 50-year mortgage, he put out, I think, on Truth Social, a picture side by side of him and FDR and said, hey, FDR introduced the 30-year. What about if Trump introduced the 50-year? And that's it.
I think that trying to talk about new programs by using FDR is maybe a non-starter.
It's not a great idea.
I don't. Was that the? Oh crap! That's the wrong Roosevelt.
Yeah, a little surprised to see that.
Yeah, square.
I mean, if it has to do with comparing himself to history, I think Trump will do that. He's like, oh, he did this. Well, Trump's going to do this.
Yeah,
in the third person.
Hopefully, we'll get Stewie on this week to talk about the 50-year mortgage situation and why that. I can imagine that it might be a good deal for some people. Like what I said last week, the only thing that makes sense to me about a 50-year mortgage is that it lowers the payment enough to get somebody in a home. And like the hot second that you're able to refinance that sucker, probably with a mega loan, down to a 30 or a 15 or a 20 or a 10 or whatever you can afford. You got to do that because 50 years of mortgage. Like if you buy your house after you get your first job, you're probably 24, 25 years old. You're going to be paying that mortgage for probably 5 years after your Social Security kicks in.
Yeah. No, nobody's going to lock in for that long. It's just a temporary, longer
That's
term.
not true. People will lock in for that long.
Well, they will,
It's
but
the
they're
exact
not going
same-
to pay 50 years.
No, they will, because look at student loans. Look at the people who signed up for student loans because they didn't understand for whatever reason. I mean, it's on them. You sign on the dotted line. You owe that money. But people have been paying student loans for decades. And they look at their principal and it's like, it's almost the same number.
It hasn't moved.
So people are, a lot of people in the American public, and you would have to think that those who would want to use a 50-year mortgage would be people who need access to something that doesn't exist in the market right now. So they're probably lower income people. Maybe they're people who have had a credit situation and had to try to get back in or whatever it might be. I don't think the people who are going to be signing up for the 50-year loan have a bagel loan plan laid in. I'm going to put it that way.
Yeah, and I'll just say, let me clarify what I'm saying. Is
Okay.
that if you get a 50-year loan, even if you're doing so intelligently and not just saying, whoa, whatever's the lowest payment, I'll take that. Okay. You're not going to be at 25 still paying that same loan at 75. You're going to refinance somewhere in there because you're going to move. The average person moves every 9 to 10 years.
Or you're going to default because you had to get a 50-year loan to buy the house that you want. The taxes on that sucker are going to be outrageous. By the way, Ron DeSantis wants to nationally eliminate property taxes.
Oh, thank you.
Once again, America's governor.
I'll vote for that.
Sitting in Florida, just doing Florida things where I'm not.
The last
Sad.
thing I'll say about the 50-year mortgage is a lot of the people complaining about, especially online, are talking about Trump's going to trap you in this. He's going to make you be paying on the same loan with no equity for years and years and years. It's an option. He's not forcing you to take a 50-year mortgage. It's not the only thing that's going to be available. It's just going to be another option if it happens at all.
Well, here's another thing that President Trump said with Laura Ingram's got a lot of people talking right now.
If you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
When you and I were
I'll give you
growing
an
up.
example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made
Hyundai.
batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing and very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles.
I love how Laura Ingraham has to say something after every comma in Donald Trump sentences, which I'm fairly certain that there are only commas in Donald Trump sentences.
There are no periods.
There are no, you know how people say something and they mean it and they say period. He does not do that.
He does some
just
ellipses.
He's like, comma. Ellipsis. It's like an echo.
He's saying it 3 times because of each one? Okay, okay.
People are worked up about this. And guys, stop getting worked up about everything. Everybody calm down. It's going to be fine. Here's why. Because what Laura Ingraham is saying is correct. And what, in my opinion, Donald Trump is saying is correct. You want to have people, you don't want to pull people, that's what Trump said, you don't want to pull people out of the unemployment line and then be like, here, all right, you back there in the red shirt, you are going to go make missiles. That's impractical. And maybe that's what was taking place at that specific Georgia factory. We have a gap in our country of skilled labor, and we need to close the gap. But you can't just bottom out the gap and then go, we'll just... You guys remember when doors were flying off of planes? Do you remember? Oh, Do you remember when people were flying in the air and the door came off of the plane in the air? That's crazy. I don't want that. I want to double down that doesn't happen. So what probably needs to happen here is something that's a little bit in between what the two are saying. It's actually probably what Donald Trump says, but it seems in that conversation, he seems as though he's arguing with Laura Ingraham about what needs to take place. What he's saying is, we can't do that tonight. That can't happen right now. We do not have, and we haven't. Like, obviously, look around you. Why is Mike Rowe so popular? Because he's the one man out there talking about dirty jobs, talking about skilled trade labor, and trying to, like, wave his hands in the air and say, we need to pay attention to this. The reason why he has as much influence as he has is because he's one of the few people who is out there championing the cause of skilled labor. We have to embrace that as a country, and we have to get back to that. And in order to do that, you're going to want to bring jobs back to the United States, which the president has invested policy in. If his tariff thing continues to go through, that's supposed to materialize with investment, infrastructure, jobs, and production here in the United States. While all of this is happening, I don't think it's realistic to think that all of the workers who are keeping the wheels turning in the United States need to be shipped out. I think that there's a couple things that need to be understood here, and this is not what happens. Like, Laura Ingraham wants to have an exciting interview. That's her job. She needs to get people to pay attention to what's going on. She needs to push the issues she thinks that represent her viewers. And I think she's right to say that the H-1B visa situation in our country is one that is needing of attention. And President Trump, who's the chief dog, needs to say, we're working on it. Here's our goal. And this is why it's going to take this much amount of time. And I don't think that Laura Ingraham gave in at all that it's not something that you can just have be done. And I don't think Trump made it clear what his actual goal was, mostly because they kind of got caught up in the crossfire. Anyway, there's a lot of people on X, just of a certain lane right now. They're very dedicated to President Trump and the America First agenda. I respect that. And they are panicking because they think that he's the H-1B visa king. So I, for one, want to be the first to say no kings.
Thank you, finally.
I know. Down with the oligarchy. We'll talk about oligarchy later.
I need a shirt that says that.
I know where to get one. Let's take a quick break. We're going to have Congresswoman Mary Miller with us next. The government shutdown vote, we're going to find out timing of that and the expectation from Congresswoman Miller from Illinois' 15th District. We're going to find that out next with her right here on the Andy Fry Show. Don't go away.
We don't even know yet, but no one needs to know right now. I'll tell him so.
Todd Sivia, SiviaLaw.com, ready to help you through all of those difficult transitions in life. When you call 833-995-WILL, that's 833-995-WILL, you're going to get connected to a Sivia Law office in Missouri or Illinois, whichever you prefer. They have 7 locations across the bi-state region, one close to you, I'm certain. 833-995-WILL, that's an important number to remember because if you're one of the first 10 callers right now to reach out to Todd Sivia to talk about your estate planning needs, your elder law concerns, special needs, real estate, personal injury, business, all of this. If you're one of the first 10 callers at 833-995-WILL, you're going to get your strategy session fee waived. It's going to be on them. $300 value. You don't have to pay it. It doesn't matter when you schedule that appointment for. Just get it on the books and get it for free. 833-995-WILL. That's the number to call. You can reach out to them. Their Illinois offices in Edwardsville, East Dalton, Swansea, Centralia, and Mount Vernon. In Missouri, visit them in Wentzville and Creve Coeur. Online at SiviaLaw.com.
Kids don't always like to get school report cards, but they are important and helpful. They document subjects where they're strong and others where they need to show some improvement. Ever wonder why you don't get a report on how your child's school compares to others? At the Show Me Institute, we think you should, and that's why we've started the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org, and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on several categories, such as student performance in English, language arts, and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district will have a grade, and the website is easy to use. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Now you can. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Have you set your appointment up yet to have your furnace checked to make sure you are good and ready to go for this winter? It's really, really a great idea to have it done for your own peace of mind and for your safety also. Definitely check your furnace before you use it. You can go to my website. It's bartinman.com, and we'll have pictures up of what we've seen and what we've seen and found that the homeowners had no clue that this danger existed. Most have no idea what I'm talking about now, but if you went to the website, if you're not going to have me come out or another company come out and check, then you'll know what to look for on your furnace and hot water heater also. So my number, again, it's Bart Inman. One easy number, Missouri and Illinois. The easiest number, 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com, Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you could get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
She's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain, reminds me that there's a time to change.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. It's a big day on Capitol Hill, certainly because we believe that the shutdown is likely about to come to an end. But of course, how does a bill become a law? All of the things that you have to do on Capitol Hill to make sure something like this takes place, you got to go through the House because the Senate passed a continuing resolution and extended the CR to January 30th is my understanding, but it needs to go to the House for approval, and that appears to be happening today. Let's speak to Congresswoman Mary Miller from Illinois' 15th District, one of those 3 Republicans that J.B. Pritzker allowed to go to Congress in his kindergarten drawn map. Congresswoman, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be back here in D.C. and we're ready to get to work. The Democrats are continuing their obstruction. They have Trump derangement syndrome so bad that they'll do anything. They'll even hold the country hostage before they will allow us to continue with what the American people voted for. And, that's what they're doing. They're kowtowing to their radical base, which I believe is taking over their entire party. And they made radical demands. We stuck together and they lost.
Yeah, they certainly did. And the American people will win once again if the House is able to open the government and pass the CR. Do you anticipate any problems, any issues getting this passed tonight in the House?
I do not. And then President Trump will sign it, and hopefully we'll be open tomorrow or Friday.
Do you expect Democrats to vote in favor of this?
No. I think there'll be a few outliers. Representative Golden, possibly. There may be maybe 1 or 2 or 3 others. But no, I do not expect them to.
So Congresswoman Mary Miller speaking with us right now. If it were up to the House Democrats right now on Capitol Hill, the government would stay shut down?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And they've proven, I mean, look at even in Illinois, the Democrats in Illinois, Pritzker, Mayor Johnson, they side with the radical base Marxists. They're siding with criminals, illegals. This is their MO, and it's in DC as well as in Illinois. So thankfully, we have the majority.
Yes, absolutely. It is a razor-thin majority, certainly there in the House of Representatives. The the negotiations will begin then on the appropriations bills. And I think that a lot of conservatives, a lot of America First, Trump voters are leaning heavily into what happens next. I know that my colleague to my right immediately, and I mean my right literally, maybe politically as well, Ryan Wiggins, is very, very worked up about the overspending in government. And I'm curious what you feel like the House Republicans specifically are doing to try to rein spending in for the American taxpayer.
Well, the majority of us agree that we need to rein in the government, shrink the government. We want transparency, accountability, and there's so much we could do, but we have such a razor thin majority. We have some people that are complete rhinos or getting ready to retire, but it's a numbers game. It's always a numbers game. And I know, sometimes people unjustly want to attack our leader, but he's counting the votes. And sometimes things don't go on the House floor because we have a couple on our side that won't support it. But that's why these primary elections coming up are so important. People need to be razzed up. They need to get out to vote, get their family and their neighbors out to vote, because that's going to come up before we know it.
Yeah.
But I'm 100% on board with shrinking the government and throttling back the spending.
We're speaking with Congresswoman Mary Miller, and she represents Illinois' 15th district. We've heard J.B. Pritzker say, gosh, they're going to look at what Indiana does. And if Indiana ends up redistricting, we're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to, no, he didn't say it again. He's like, we're going to have to consider what we can do here in the state of Illinois. Even though they were the poster boys for, even on Stephen Colbert's show, he points right at my district, that 13th snake that goes through all the college towns here in Southern Illinois to squeeze out a blue district in my area, which I consider to be very purple. Yeah. Does J.B. Pritzker, could he lead the super majority of Democrats in the assembly in Springfield to squeeze out even another Republican and make it maybe just two Republicans that represent Illinois in Congress?
Well, the key word is super majority. There again, they have the votes, and I think they'll do whatever they need to do to stay in power and to grab more power, which is to take another congressional seat. But it'll have to go through the courts, and we're going to have as much pushback as possible. But I think the key thing is that Illinois is losing population, and we've had this exodus going on, and it's because of Democrat policies, and it's driving people out. And that's how I got involved in the first place. Is our children were looking to leave. They didn't want to leave, but the policies aren't good for businesses or families. So we need to get engaged and try to get, some wins if we can.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. The midterm elections, watching the elections from last week, communist gets elected in New York City. The Democrats sweep what are obviously blue areas, so I don't think it's really a shocker. It would have been a show-stopping shocker should a Republican had pulled off any of those campaigns. But the Democrats had the opportunity to make a statement last week, and I think they did. And I think it's a Democrat Party that a lot of Democrats, longtime Democrat voters, don't recognize. But alas, they are having success. What is the path for the Republicans to expand the majority in the midterms in 2026 in the House of Representatives?
Well, obviously, we're having redistricting in some of these states, and that should help us. But I think the big thing is to get people to the polls. We need to pass voter ID, and that will help us also. So, and then we've got to continue our messaging. The Democrats' policies are bad for Americans. And, in New York, it's a blue city. So, we shouldn't be so surprised, but we've been too quiet. And we need to speak out to the next generation, to our neighbors, because the schools have not highlighted how bad socialism is. It's never worked. It leads to communism, which leads to mass murder and all kinds of human suffering. And our youth don't know that. And so we need to message that to them and let them know that our policies cause communities to be able to thrive and allow them to be free people.
Congresswoman, last question before we let you go. Fox News is reporting that Chicago crime is at a 4-year low after Operation Midway Blitz. do you feel as though Illinois is still heading in a direction where maybe people might consider not voting blue no matter who in the 2026 midterms?
You would hope so. I mean, President Trump has made it very clear that he wants law and order, and we're a nation of laws. And he is ignoring radicals like J.B. Pritzker and Brandon Johnson. They are failed in every way that you could measure. And this is not a red or blue issue. All Americans deserve to be safe in their community. And President Trump is the one that is taking bold steps to do that. So, hopefully these people understand that because they see it with their own eyes.
So much so. Congresswoman Mary Miller, we always love having you on the show. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to having you back once this government gets open and the negotiating actually begins.
Thank you, Annie. Take care.
Yep, you too. We'll talk to you soon. Congresswoman Mary Miller, Illinois' 15th District Representative in Congress, one of those 3 Republicans representing Illinois residents. You should see the landmass of Illinois that is represented by Republicans, and then you'll realize that that's just 3 people, the way they carved them all together. It's really quite something. Each representative is supposed to represent about 750,000 people in Congress, give or take. And I will have to say that kindergartner that J.B. Pritzker handed that pen to draw those maps, is pretty good at math, if you really think about it. It's pretty impressive. Let's take a quick break. The YouTube live chat poll for today. This is what it says. You're going to fill in the blank. I voted for Trump and he's exceeded my expectations, he's met my expectations, he's failed my expectations, or I didn't vote for Trump. Let us know what you think on the Annie Fry YouTube poll. We'll be right back.
Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did you fall from a shooting?
AirComfortService.com, 314-513-0091. It's cold outside. You know that. You need to make sure that it is not cold inside. You want to be in your comfort zone, of course. Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation has the best way to keep not only your heating system, but your whole HVAC system in peak shape all year long with their preferred partner plan. So when you reach out to them at 314-513-0091, you're going to take the burden off yourself to all of a sudden you go a few days, and you're like, gosh, it's really cold in here. How come it's so cool in here? Is the furnace running? And then you're like, it is running. How long has it been running? How long have you been paying for the energy to run this furnace that's not warming your home? And then the questions start to snowball. Get ahead of that. Make sure that it's checked every year by experts at Air Comfort Service and stay up to date on the maintenance to avoid those high-cost repairs. 314-513-0091, 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
First responders get in the ring for the 38th Budweiser Guns N' Hoses presented by Stiefel. It's the biggest holiday party of the year, the night before Thanksgiving at Enterprise Center. Get your tickets now at stlgunsandhoses.com. It's go time.
This is Justin Brown with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Is your financial advisor proactive or reactive? If your strategy or service feels stagnant or misaligned, it may be time for a change. Our defined, proactive approach to investments and communication keeps you informed and prepared for what's ahead. Let's talk about what makes us different and how a more engaged advisor can help you reach your goals. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Krenz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Your voice, your values. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
There's nothing colder than your shoulder when you're dragging me along like you do. And then you switch up with no warning and you kiss me like you want it. How rude, but I kinda like it anyways. I don't mind if this is gonna take a million days. I know you'll come around to me eventually. If you sit back, relax, and join my company. Once you know what my love's gonna feel like.
I hope that we're going to be able to have a health care where Lindsay and I were discussing it, Jim and I were discussing it, and Katie, we discussed it. We want a health care system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. And I tell you, we're going to be working on that very hard over the next short period of time, where the people get the money. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars where the people get the money. Yes, please.
So when President Trump is sitting in the Oval Office taking questions, as he's apt to do, and he's talking about how he wants the people to get the money, the only question, I love that idea that the money goes to the people. I'm just wondering if the government needs to take money to give to the people, maybe we could just keep it.
Yeah, it's troubling because it's a good argument because we're spending so much of our federal budget on health care in general. It's almost like the school choice argument where, yes, you'd rather just let people keep that money, but instead you have to sort of reallocate it to get people on board with it initially.
Well, and also the way you can do that, I think, is through tax credits potentially. And if you get a tax credit that the government gives you, they're like taking your taxes, but then they're giving you credit for certain things. So they're like taking it, not taking it.
Yeah, it's a great sales pitch, and if it works, I'm on board.
Might be the stepping stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it very well could be because we are wasting a lot of money and spending a lot of money on healthcare. And if he's able to somehow convince us all and come up with a good plan, not just convince people, but come up with a good plan that reallocates that same amount of money but back to people where they have some choice over how they spend it, that is definitely a move in the right direction.
Well, and you know, you really have to think about the intention, and we've had guests on this show who have talked about the intention of Obamacare was for it to fail so that they could implement a sort of single-payer, fully socialized medicine system, which would allow the government to manage the whole thing. And I mean, that model exists. The model exists across Europe. And people come to the United States to get life-saving care. People go south of the border, leaving Canada, to get care because they can't get the care that they need right now in the system that they have, in the socialized system that they have in Europe. I think that there is a push right now, and I'm going to pull up here in just a second the conversation that's taking place at the podium with Carolyn Levitt about affordability. That is a word that is getting a lot of hype right now, is affordability. And I think that there is a kind of a feeling that the administration, they're touting a lot of their economic wins, but the economic wins that they're touting aren't being felt by Main Street. And if they're not being felt by Main Street, then there has to be one of two things: a policy shift or a messaging shift. We have said on this show many times that we are not feeling the benefits of lowered costs across the board. Gas is cheaper, and I do notice that. There might be some groceries that are cheaper, but on the whole, there are so many things that it's just outrageous how much things cost right now that it's not nearly as comfortable and cozy as it needs to be. And if wages are going to go up, we need to see what that looks like. We need to feel it. It's not enough to tell somebody everything's better right now, and if you're not feeling it, then you're just supposed to go, well, Trump says. So talking about affordability is a really big deal, and Carolyn Levitt is going to talk about it here a little bit at the podium, and let's listen.
Traffic controllers and federal employees will be back to receiving their regular paychecks. Families in need will get back to receiving their food purchasing assistance, and the people's government will soon be back open for business. President Trump looks forward to finally ending this devastating Democrat shutdown with his signature, and we hope that signing will take place later tonight. On another matter, I want to address the affordability issue that's received a great deal of media attention this past week, which is ironic because it didn't receive that much attention when Joe Biden was here and inflation was at a record high 9%, the worst inflation crisis in modern American history. And President Trump won a landslide election in part to address the affordability issues created by Joe Biden and the Democrats. And that's exactly what President Trump has done since day one of his administration. Since the first day in office and every day since, the Trump administration has taken aggressive action to fix the Biden-created cost of living issues. The notion that the same Democrats who just shut down the federal government to sabotage our economy, rob people of their paychecks, and also helped Joe Biden ratchet up inflation to 9% are now suddenly affordability champions, that notion is completely absurd. And it's something only the liberal media would have the gall to push. But the reality is that President Trump and his administration have done so much to lower prices and increase the economic prosperity of the American people. And this president and his team of amazing economic advisors are going to keep working on this issue every single day. In less than 10 short months, President Trump signed the largest middle-class tax cuts in American history, including no tax on tips, overtime, and Social Security, which will guarantee that next year Americans are going to put more money back into their pockets. The president has completely unleashed American energy dominance to help bring gasoline prices to the lowest in 5 years, and we expect them to continue to decrease. And it has also lowered energy costs overall. There is more work to do. But again, the president's deregulatory and pro-American energy agenda is absolutely going to continue to drive down prices. This formula worked in the president's first term, and we expect that it's going to work again. And this is key because we know energy costs are the #1 driver of inflation. Again, just look at what Joe Biden did to our energy industry over the past 4 years of his administration, and look at what happened to inflation as a result. Everything became more expensive. To lower prescription drug prices and healthcare costs, the president has been working around the clock on this issue. He is obsessed with negotiating these good deals on behalf of the American people to bring down pharmaceutical costs and drug costs for Americans. And he has done so on a number of fronts. You have seen him discuss that in the Oval Office several times. To fuel small businesses, lower their costs, and incentivize hiring, the Trump administration has already cut 30 unnecessary regulations for every new one on the books, which we know will save employers and small businesses across the country thousands of dollars in regulatory burdens. All of these pro-Trump policies are working, and they will continue to work. Wages are rising at the fastest pace of the start of a presidential administration in 60 years. The cost of the typical new mortgage is down by nearly $3,000 per year. There's much work to do, and this administration will continue to do it. But President Trump has already made great progress in cleaning up the economic disaster that was created by Joe Biden. With that, I will take your questions today, and in our new media seat, we have Bev Turner, who works for a new outlet, UK
So I'm going to jump in
outlet,
here and let's just discuss a little bit of what she was saying here about affordability. Kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. There is a group of people right now that are amplifying the concern that Americans have about affordability. I don't think that this is... I do not look at President Trump's second term and go, you've been there for a whole 9 months. Why haven't you fixed everything yet? I actually look at the slate of things that he has given his attention to. Certainly a lot of foreign policy, the tariff negotiations. I think that the tariff thing, it had to be implemented fast because the faster you do it, the quicker you can see the benefits from it. And he needs some runway with the tariff strategy because he didn't have his whole party supporting him in this regard. So he needed to put it into practice so that people could see the benefits of it. At least that's, if I were President Trump, that's what I would be thinking. I need the longest runway to get this off before, if you do it in your third year, it's just going to get scrapped the second somebody else gets in there, if they're spooked by it. That's not going to happen if you get it done first. And I think one of the main reasons why the president has been as successful as he has negotiating peace in a whole bunch of different areas, not quite yet Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine announced today that those peace talks are completely on pause right now because they're not going anywhere. But if you've seen what's done in the Middle East, if you've seen, the discussion that the Syrian president was at the White House the other day, that is a wild twist and turn in this timeline of at least my 40 years of life to know that was taking place. A lot of these other conflicts that existed that were very bloody that he's helped solve peace, he did it through his tariff negotiations, working with an economic footing and going in and getting people to come to the table because they decided to try prosperity instead of certain death. That's all wrapped up together. He's been very busy doing these things. There are domestic issues that have not been in the forefront of the news conversation the way they should be. So the question is, have they been at the forefront of the administration the way they should be? I do think that the big, beautiful bill is something that is going to materialize in a way. Should Donald Trump and the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans know what they're talking about, that the domestic issues, especially when it comes to taxes and spending and all the stuff that have been put into place, we haven't actually been able to feel it yet because a lot of these things are going to be noticeable in the when you start filing taxes in the next year, which is really pretty quickly.
I'm also the IRS commissioner. So what I can see is that with the president's signature campaign promises, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, auto deductibility of loans if you buy an American car, Americans didn't change their withholding for 2025. Right. So we're going to see substantial refunds for working families at the beginning, in the first quarter of 25. They'll change their withholding at the beginning of the year, and that will be a natural, real wage growth.
So that's so sensible to me, and it's not something, because I'm not smart enough to think those economic thoughts or whatever. I have in the past. Last year was the first time I took our taxes to somewhere else. It just got a little too complicated for me to do. But, through TurboTax that I've used, it always spits out hey, this is what your refund is looking at right now. It caused my jaw to drop what it was saying my refund was going to look at.
Really?
More than 3 times.
Well, that's great.
Life-changing. Now that was TurboTax. And I would venture to think that, I don't know, this year if I probably on par to make close to the same amount of money that we did. No major changes, nothing dramatic that has changed. But what I hear Treasury Secretary and IRS Commissioner, is that the title? Mm-hmm. Scott Bessent saying there is that the One Big Beautiful Bill implications for your tax return are going to be very noticeable. And when you and I are saying, our wages aren't going up here, everybody keeps saying wages are up. And you're like, it doesn't really matter whose wages are up if they're not mine. Exactly. I don't really care about other people. High five, good for you. But if my wages are not going up, I'm actually almost more angry than I was to begin with that other people are experiencing that. So what he's saying there, we'll wait and see if it's true. Trust but verify, folks. That's what Scott Bessent is saying, is that your wages are gone up, but right now they're stuck in withholding. And you're going to get that money back due to the One Big Beautiful Bill when you file your tax returns. File early, folks. You're going to get that money back, and then you're going to go, oh my gosh, I don't want to withhold this much money. You're going to let that money come into your paycheck every week, every other week, or twice a month, or monthly, whatever you get. Then your wages actually are going up. So what he's saying is your wages are up. You just haven't physically touched it yet because it's sitting in a non-interest bearing account that the government holds in your tax withholding. Does that make sense?
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that because I
that
haven't
was
looked.
that was like a good news.
Yeah, and that will. So like you're saying, a lot of the stuff that he says, even in those clips, you go, okay, that sounds
Like
good.
you look
but
like a smart person, and I hope that your confidence is accurate.
I hope that I can feel what you're saying is what it interprets to me. And what you just said is you can already see that you can feel what he's saying.
Yes.
You haven't gotten the money, but you will.
That's. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, 3 times as much.
Yes.
Even if it's off by a little,
Yes.
you're still going to come out ahead.
Yes. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I did something stupid. I'm going to get to my tax guy as soon as possible. Like the second, at the end of January, the second I get my last document, I'm going to be like, here, take me. I'll pay you extra. I think I got a little extra. Do I have a little extra? Weekends America, the weekend roundup next. No, what is it?
No, it's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Whatever. We don't know what's happening. We'll be right back.
I'm getting closer to you every day. I know you'll come around to me eventually. Just sit back, relax, enjoy my company. Oh, baby, trust me. Once you know what my love's gonna feel like.
Stewart's American Mortgage. You're looking for a new mortgage for your home because the one you have right now, the interest rate is super high. Or because maybe your personal economy has changed a little bit. You've got a little extra money. What if you took your 30-year mortgage that you got 5 years ago and could you afford a 15-year mortgage? Could you afford a 20-year mortgage? Shave some of those years of interest off the face of your loan and start saving and saving quickly. All you got to do is call or text Stewie at 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. You can Google the Bagel Loan to find out more information as well. Here's what the Bagel Loan will do for you. On a brand new mortgage or on a mortgage refinance, you're going to pay $0 in closing costs. So that new mortgage for you doesn't cost you anything. 314-324-4440. Google the Bagel Loan for more information. That's a direct line to my friend Stewie. I have been a 2-time Bagel Loan refinancer with her. I trust it. I trust you to call him and get the best deal for you. NMLS number 226715.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Let's support our first responders. Enter Responder Rescue's ATF raffle. Prizes include top shelf bourbon, a lit cigar lounge VIP night, and a CZ P10 pistol from the range. Text Responder to 33100 to enter today.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Hey, comedian Dimitri Martin is coming to town November 20th. We are giving away free tickets all this week, and your chance today will be at about 2:30. So stick around or come back at 2:30 if you want to see Dimitri Martin here in town on November 20th. That's when we'll tell you when to call. It is 12:52 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
TruthNorth.com.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
Wiggins!
Oh! Wiggins!
All right, this is stuff to get rid of right now. Going to the holiday season.
Co-hosts.
No.
He's hanging around your house?
He showed up at my door that one time.
That's funny. Good job, Brad. I'm not hanging around your house. These are things to
The
get
more
rid
you
of.
say that, the less confident I am that is accurate.
I was going to say, if he's hanging around your house, absolutely, 100%. Get rid of him.
If I did, though, here's how it would happen. You would go out in the morning and
I'd find you in my refrigerator.
No, that's not true. I can't fit. I'm kind of a bigger guy now.
Because of the refrigerator?
Because I ate everything in the fridge. No, what I would do is I would just hang out on your back deck or something like that, and I'd just kind of poke around at things and be like, they're going to need a replacement.
Fire up the grill?
Yeah.
Smoker?
Just kind of criticize things.
The way we know you're there is you're like, you guys want brisket or ribs?
I'm not cooking. I'm walking around and I'm judging. That's what I'm going to do. And then you guys are just going to see me, and I'm like, I'm just here to help. Jeez,
It's really no different than anything you ever do anywhere else.
Things you need to get rid of.
Walking around and judging.
Going into the Christmas season. It's just random stuff that you don't think about that you actually need to go through and get rid of stuff. It's the number one is old spices. Do you have a robust spice rack? That was a little bit weird.
Dangerous.
I have a
really want to talk to you about my rack.
Lots of spices.
Spindle.
Different tastes.
I should have said spindle. You're usually on those turning things.
No.
Lazy Susan.
I don't know. I feel like, don't talk about her like that. I feel like this is known information, but I do not do the cooking in our house.
Maybe
So
Jared needs to examine his rack
of spices.
Now, are you talking about mine?
No, his own. Maybe he needs to take that thing for a spin.
Oh no!
See what's in there.
You're pushing it.
See if it's getting a little old.
Pushing it.
And toss what he can.
See if it's getting a little old.
You don't use all that paprika.
I think there's a YouTube short out there about you talking about my memories. Remember that?
I don't remember what the context
already.
was, but I think that did happen.
Yesterday, I tried really hard to get Jared to walk up to you, and in super serious fashion, we were at the Veterans Day Parade. Jared was dressed in a black shirt. He had black, Ray-Ban sunglasses on. I wanted him to go up and go, "Did you call my wife a 5?" He couldn't muster the seriousness to do it. I was going to video it.
You know what's funny? I could tell yesterday Jared had something, but he was not. Like, whenever we past each other, it was like, hey. And I could tell that he was like, we're on the verge of something.
It wasn't going to happen if I couldn't get it on video, because I wanted to see if you panicked, which I think you might have.
Oh, I would have for a second. For sure.
Well, what do you say
I'm
to a
sorry,
man?
sir.
She's a 10. I mean, I don't.
I didn't mean it. Look, we do this goofy stuff on the radio. It's not real. Nothing we say is real.
There's no spicy racks.
Yeah, no kidding.
Don't give him today's Wiggins America.
I don't know. Yeah, he'll find out. What else should we get rid of? Co-hosts?
Broken jewelry. Seems pretty obvious.
Or
but
if it's good jewelry, take it to the diamond shop and
Get
have
it fixed.
Tom repair it.
For
And if
sure.
you're not going to get it repaired and it's not good jewelry, just get rid of it and go buy yourself another $20 necklace.
Here's a tough one. Old greeting cards with messages in them, maybe. Now, if it's handwritten, I can see why you'd want to keep that. But if it's just a card with somebody's name in it and you like the message, it's tough.
The thong song.
Wait. Is that really what's happening here?
Ethan.
Did you do that? You did this on purpose.
Ethan.
What are you doing?
It's the instrumental, though. I think we're mostly safe. Well, Deroy Murdock, next on the Annie Fry Show. Don't go away.
If you're hosting for the holidays like we are, don't let Thanksgiving spills leave a stain. Mark Cox here. Call Zero Res. Their patented cleaning technology lifts out even the toughest gravy, cranberry sauce, or pumpkin pie disasters without soap or residue, so your home stays cleaner longer. You know, some people are going to hire that deal of the day carpet cleaner, try to save a little money, but trust shouldn't come that easy. Don't do it yourself. Call Zero Res because you know it's safe and effective. Go ahead and get clean. Don't miss this deal. They have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,900 reviews. 3 rooms of carpet clean right now, starting at $139 with $50 off air duct cleaning. Call 314-474-2020 and ask for the 97.1 special. That's 314-474-2020, or go online anytime at ZeroResSTL.com.
The Lutheran Elementary School Association. You can learn about a Lutheran school near you by going to LISA, that's with an E, L-E-S-A, STL.org. I want to really tap into you folks who know how beneficial Lutheran education can be. And I want you to think about how you could bless somebody right here in the bi-state region by making it a little more possible for another kid to attend a Lutheran school and potentially be blessed in the same way your family is being blessed by Lutheran schools. I went to Lutheran schools myself. I send my children to Lutheran schools. And there are so many different options for you in the bi-state region that are going to potentially fit the needs. It might be exactly what you've been looking for this entire time. An alternative to public school. Maybe you're ready to step out of homeschooling. Just a different parochial school setup. If you would like to be a part of making this possible for someone else, you can make a donation on their website. If you want to learn about how Lutheran education could benefit your child or your grandchild, you can learn about it on their website. Visit LISA, with an E, LESA-STL.org.
Attention veterans and active military. Overhead Door Company of St. Louis is doubling their usual veterans discount on all products and services in November. That means veterans and active military get 10% off all month at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, 10% off all doors, openers, and any service or repair. Details on their website. Schedule your annual garage door tune-up before winter really sets in. Just call 314-781-5200 or schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose the Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
The end appears to be near. Lisa Brady, Fox News, as the House prepares to vote later today on the Senate-approved bill to end the government shutdown. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt just telling reporters
the Democrats' weakness and their unwillingness to buck the fringe members of their party dragged this harmful shutdown on for 7 weeks and inflicted massive pain onto the American public.
She also says the administration will have policy proposals on health care. Democrats had been demanding an extension of Obamacare subsidies, which is not part of the new bill. On affordability, the Trump administration suggesting patience. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox Business.
The inflation line, we've got that under control. It's leveled out. That is going to start turning down. Then there's the income line.
He says real wages will increase.
And I would expect in the first quarter, second quarter of next year, those two lines are going to cross, and the American people are going to start feeling better.
The White House emphasizing ongoing efforts to address costs after recent election wins for Democrats who focused on affordability. FBI Director Kash Patel just announcing what he calls a historic agreement with China to crack down on fentanyl.
President Trump has shut off the pipeline that creates fentanyl that kills tens of thousands of Americans.
Patel says during his trip to Beijing last week, the Chinese government agreed on a plan to stop the precursors used to make fentanyl, along with 7 chemical subsidiaries of them also used for the drug. The FBI chief's trip to China following a recent meeting between Presidents Trump and Xi in South Korea. The White House also just announcing President Trump will sign an executive order tomorrow aimed at helping young Americans transitioning out of the foster care system by improving education and career opportunities. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms supply.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu. Medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperature roller coaster ride continues. Pretty nice out there this afternoon with a high of 65, plenty of sunshine. Clear skies tonight. We will drop out of the 60s and well into the 50s for evening plans. 39 for the low. Thursday, partly sunny, 65. Let's keep it going. Friday, sunny and 75. Saturday, sunny and 78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Are quick at work right now, talking to the Democrat leadership that gets their campaigns funded by these insurance companies, and I sure hope it works. I think that meteorite that hit the Gulf of America millennia ago that wiped out the dinosaurs is Trump care, and it's going to wipe out the dinosaur that's Chuck Schumer. I think Schumer's days are numbered, as everyone else does. I think AOC will take him on in the primary and beat him like a drum.
Yeah. So that's Tim Burchett, otherwise known as Tim. Remember that? When George Santos got freed from prison because he was offered clemency by Donald Trump, and George Santos's lawyer listed out all the people they wanted to thank, and it was like, I'd like to thank Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tim. And he just retweeted that, and he said, like Beyonce or Madonna or something like that. But his name is Tim. Tim Burchett is the Senator Kennedy of the House.
He's becoming that for sure. Yeah, he's made a name for himself.
He's the one who stood in front of that Burger King billboard during the No Kings rally and ate a Whopper. It was like,
I didn't see that.
No Kings here. Yeah, I think he was wearing the cardboard crown.
He's the one that makes fun of that staffer that walks along beside him and tries to get him to stumble. I don't know if
he tells him to go back to his mom's basement and stuff like that.
Citizen journalist or something. He's got to be like 21 years old.
The funny thing is, he looks like I'm trying to think of who not to offend here, how I say this. He looks like a guy who would be the manager, I'll just say this, like in a paper factory. Let's go The Office.
Okay. I think you've successfully achieved that.
Like, he just looks like his name is Tim. He's super funny. And he's super quick on the helm. And I think he's done really, really great things to try to cut through the noise and message in a successful way. He's talking about Trump care in that clip. And I would like, Ryan, you to verify to the people that I have been talking specifically the parallel roads of healthcare and higher education. That everybody's always talking about how are we going to pay for it? How are we going to pay for it? Nobody's ever talking about why it costs so darn much. We've been talking about that for a long time, right?
That is a consistent point on the Annie Fry Show from Annie Fry.
For years.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about that when I was still on Saturdays. And before we get to our guest here, the thing that blows my mind that has been too difficult, it's not something that's ever talked about, but it does seem like it's starting to be discussed, is that if we're only ever talking about how the taxpayer is going to pay for all of these things, and we're never talking about the actual cost, the skyrocketing, outrageous cost of health care, but also at the same time, in that parallel way, the cost of higher education, and then we're making it so the government will pay for whatever those places charges, Why would the costs ever go down? And if the government is guaranteeing taxpayer dollars to fund things that have no free market competition to keep the prices under control, then the taxpayer dollar is going to be spent in an out of control way. And you are here on that timeline.
And that is a huge topic of discussion right now in the political world.
And it needs to be. It's really actually, we've been arguing about stupid things for so long that this is something that's gotten way out of control. Let's get to our friend Deroy Murdock, who joins us once again. Nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, and Fox News contributor. He's got a piece on this in the Daily Signal, which I encourage you to check out. Deroy, welcome back to the show.
Annie, great to be with you again.
So what do you think about the healthcare system right now? Everyone's talking about, like, how are we going to pay for this? The Democrats want to continue their subsidies on the subsidy of the Unaffordable Care Act, and that just seems to be a non-starter for many fiscal Republicans. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think that, first of all, this was supposed to be a temporary subsidy tied to COVID, and this was passed in 2021, and there are quotes from Nancy Pelosi and from Schumer and everyone else saying, hey, this is temporary, it'll just be a couple of years, and the legislation says it will run out in 20, I think originally it was 2023, and then I think it got extended to end of 25, and now they're basically saying, oh, the Republicans are taking this away. Well, the Democrats proposed that the Democrats said it would be temporary. This is not a Republican idea to cut this stuff off. So they're basically having a tantrum over something that they designed and they created and they asked for, which is kind of crazy. And I guess sometime tonight, I guess the House is going to vote, and I imagine the shutdown finally may end. But I very much like, and this is what I discussed in my piece in the Daily Signal, as Schumer shutdown comes to a halt, Trump proposal could turbocharge patient power. He had a great idea over the weekend. It's something I've been advocating. I think you and I might have talked about it a couple weeks ago. Rather than give this money to insurance companies, to whatever degree we're going to give subsidies to people, we should give it directly to American citizens, give it directly to them as patients and consumers, and then let them go out and buy whatever insurance they like. If they like Obamacare, they can keep Obamacare. If they want to buy catastrophic plans, they can do that. If they want to be able to buy association health plans, let's say put up by the Rotary Club or by the Junior League, whatever it is, that ought to be legal and permitted. Rand Paul, Senator from Kentucky, has a great idea, which is let Amazon and Google and Sam's Club and Costco and Walmart sell insurance. Now, if you're a member of, let's say, Amazon Prime, which has got, I don't know how many millions of members, I think Costco has 44 million members. If they were able to sell, let's just say that half the people bought their insurance through Costco, it's 20 million, 22 million. You walk into an insurance company and say, look, I'm representing 20 million people. Show me your prices. And you go, nope, too high. And all of a sudden they say, all right, fine, we like the volume, we'll cut the prices. And all of a sudden you'll see prices coming down. Right now, basically what it is the insurance companies sit there and somebody at the Treasury writes a big fat check to Cigna, a big fat check to Aetna, a big fat check to Blue Shield, Blue Cross, what have you, and nobody competes with them. They sit there and wait for the checks and for the wires to be delivered from the Treasury Department, and there's no competition there. So just like we have with food stamps or we have with Pell Grants or anything else, give the money directly to people, let the people shop and buy what they like. That competition will give people lower prices and more choice, more freedom, and that's why President Trump is pushing it, why the Democrats are against it, because they don't like things like freedom and choice.
Yeah. You know, I think, Deroy, this article that you have in the Daily Signal that I want people to read, a Schumer shutdown comes to a halt, Trump proposal could turbocharge patient power. This really is a very America First policy that could be put into place. And we haven't been talking. It's all of the sudden, you know, and I give credit to the Democrats who are willing to take paychecks away from all of the government workers for making this an issue that people care about once again. And then also at the same time, give credit to those Democrats for highlighting that their solution was to continue to throw more taxpayer money that they take out of your pocket to try to make you believe that it's more affordable, which is a total lie. Now Donald Trump has a platform to talk about how to actually solve the system. We spent so much time in the last, how many years, 4 years, 5 years, talking about stupid lawsuits that they're throwing at Donald Trump. Joe Biden's entire administration was a Green New Deal nonsense. None of these things that actually help American people. The conversation seems to be back where Americans would actually feel the benefit of this kind of policy should it be put in place.
absolutely right. I mean, this is something very concrete that will be very helpful to people who don't have insurance, people who have insurance but are paying too much. And I think this is a very positive thing. And what's ironic about it is that basically what Trump is saying is, look, we're for the subsidies. We just want people to have them in their pockets rather than have it sent to the CEO of some big insurance company. And Democrats say, no, don't do that. Well, don't you want to help the poor people and help the needy people and folks who need assistance? And I think that in particular, it ought to be structured so that if you like Obamacare, you can keep it. And then let the Democrats stand up and say, no, if we do that, people are going to run away from Obamacare. Oh, so you're telling us Obamacare doesn't work, are you? You're telling us it's actually a failed program? So it really puts them in a corner, because if Obamacare is as great as they say it is, they shouldn't worry about it, because people get the money from individually, and they'll run back into Obamacare. Maybe more people will run into Obamacare if it's really such a wonderful program. I doubt that will happen, but that's what people want. I guess that's their choice. But I think the Democrats understand people would rather have insurance that's closer, whatever their actual needs are, needs of themselves, their families, and loved ones, and they'll pick things. Some may pick Obamacare, but a lot of people probably pick other things if they have the options and if they have choices. One of the things that drove me crazy about Obamacare is the mandated benefits. So if you have an Obamacare plan and you're, 23, 24-year-old guy out of school, your Obamacare plan includes maternity benefits and like fertilization benefit. Like, what is this? Why are you paying for that? Now, if you're 35 or 40, you're trying to, raise kids, maybe that makes sense. But if you're right out of school, you don't need that. Why are you paying for that? It's like you just want to get a basic, ordinary transportation to get to work. And someone says, well, we've got the Maserati and we have the Ferrari here. Which would you like? I want to buy a Honda. Can I just get a Honda? No. You got to get a Ferrari or a Maserati. And this is one of the things that makes Obamacare so expensive, because every time you add, you have to have dental care. You have to have hearing care. One of the things that was included in Obamacare was pediatric dentistry. So dentistry for kids. So if you've got to pay in your plan for the dental care of children you don't have, if you don't have kids. Now, if you have kids, fine, that makes sense. If you don't have kids, or maybe you don't want to have kids, you got to pay for dental care for children you either don't have or don't even want to have. And that costs an extra, who knows how many dollars a month. And that just sends your premiums up. That's because I assume somebody from the Pediatric Dentistry Association wrote a big fat check to Democrats and said, all right, we've got to make sure that this lobby gets paid. So they threw that in among the mandatory benefits. And so that's in every Obamacare plan, which is absurd and ridiculous.
Yeah, Deroy, I think that the elephant in the room that really does need to be called out specifically on a political front as this conversation continues to unfold and people start getting a little more into the wide variety of options that could be available to the American people is how the system right now is not set up to benefit the person being provided the health care. It is set up to benefit the insurance companies. The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, guaranteed insurance companies' clients. And I don't know any company who's guaranteed that everybody has to be a client in some way, shape, or form that's going to be like, I should lower my prices. The whole system was set up upside down to not benefit the people who, the Mr. Hope and Change put all this together and tried to sell it to the American people as a warm and fuzzy socialized healthcare path. And it turned out it really benefited the man, the capital M man, more than probably anything else that President Obama was able to accomplish. And Donald Trump has the ability to undo all of that and actually be America first, taxpayer first, and give people the opportunity to choose a little bit more when it comes to their health care.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right about that. And let's start calling this Trump care. Maybe that's the word for this, Trump care. The whole idea that under Obamacare, you're guaranteed consumers, guaranteed patients. Imagine, you as a broadcaster, me as a broadcaster, and also as a writer, if we're guaranteed, okay, every time you talk in a microphone, there'll be 500,000 people listening, or every time I write an op-ed, I'll have 1 million people read it. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah.
Well, we don't operate in that situation. We operate in a situation where we have to compete. We got to be interesting. We got to be timely. We got to be easy to find on the dial for you, and in websites people can track down easily for me. But in the world of the left, rather than let people compete and actually have to create a product, a service, a broadcast, op-ed pieces that people like and want. We'll just give this to you. You're guaranteed. You don't have to do anything. So if you're guaranteed, why knock yourself out? Why be innovative? Why be clever? Why come up with anything new or interesting if you have yourself basically a captive audience, which is what Obamacare is to a large degree.
Yes, completely. Well, Deroy, we always are grateful for these types of conversations, and I love when we can talk about things that are actually policy-based, that really matter to the American people and not just the political slap fights that the Democrats have had us talking about for so long. This is refreshing.
Well, it's good good to talk about slap fights from time to time.
Every once in a while.
Who doesn't love a good slap fight?
The spice in the pie, for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Very good. All right, great to talk to you.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Our YouTube live chat poll for today, we're going to have, it's a little fill-in-the-blank action for you. I voted for Trump and fill in the blank. He's exceeded my expectations. He's met my expectations. He's failed my expectations. Or I didn't vote for Trump. Go to the Andy Fry YouTube channel and let us know what you think by voting there. You can also leave a comment for us. Josh said, fantastical, still loving Trump, if admittedly a little concerned about the increasing market intervention. So a thoughtful but positive review there. Crystal said, to be honest, I hoped for, expected more, but I am okay with things accomplished so far. And like that, this administration is making great efforts to be civil and work with the opposition. I think that's a great reaction as well. Jack said, I voted exceeded expectations. Never thought the BBB would pass. Democrats are so tedious, they would spite their nose to save their face. Completely bonkers. Fight, fight, fight to the detriment of the USA. Jack, welcome back. Good to have you here. And then Doug, simply failed expectations. Where do you land? Go to the Annie Fry YouTube live chat and tell us what you think. Vote. Leave a comment. We'll be right back. We're going to have Jessica Vaughan here in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes from now. She's the director of policy at the Center for Immigration Studies. We're going to talk a little H-1B visa. What is it? Do we need H-1B visa workers in this country? Is there a period of time where we need to shift mentality where that's going to look a little bit different than the end goal? I don't know. Let's talk to an expert about it at 1:30. We'll be right back.
Is it cool that I said all that? Is it chill that you're in my head? 'Cause I know that it's delicate. Is it cool that I said all that? Is it too soon to do this yet? 'Cause I know that it's delicate. Isn't it? Isn't it?
All right, I've got a really great opportunity for you at Ruler Foods. Go to rulerfoods.com right now and find your Ruler Foods, because if you've been hearing me forever talk to you about the savings at Ruler Foods, but you haven't gotten there yet, this is why you're going to want to go to Ruler Foods. So listen up, pay attention, rulerfoods.com. Kroger frozen turkeys, 10 to 20 pounds, right now, just 49 cents a pound with a limit of 2. You can go get a frozen turkey for your Thanksgiving meal with your family, a 10 to 20 pound bird, 49 cents a pound with a limit of 2. So hurry up and get there and find the one closest to you. Throw your zip code in there at rulerfoods.com and you can find one close to work, home, church, whatever it is. But you're going to want to hurry up and go get that turkey. Get it at home. Pretty soon you're going to have to put that sucker in the refrigerator and let it to start the thaw. While you're there, you can stock up on 12 packs of Pepsi or Coke at buy 2, get 2 free, limit of 8. And those fluffy mashed potatoes, 10-pound bag of Kroger russet potatoes for your Thanksgiving meal, just $2.99. Everything you need to know online at rulerfoods.com.
Stop just trying to paint and patch up the outside of your home. It's time to give it a permanent upgrade with James Hardie fiber cement siding from Lakeside Renovation and Design. This siding is designed to stand up to all the crazy weather we get here in Missouri, and it looks fantastic. Lakeside is a James Hardie elite preferred contractor. Whole team, by the way, is in-house, and they're going to take care of all the details, the color, the trim, everything to customize it to your home, to take the stress off of your plate. If your home is showing any signs of wear, it's time to take the next step. Visit lakesiderd.com.
Setting goals for your retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, listen to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you could get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time.
For years, 20, 30 years, we have offshored precision manufacturing jobs. And the president's point here is, we can't snap our fingers and say, you're going to learn how to build ships overnight. We want to bring semiconductor industry back to the U.S. There are going to be big facilities in Arizona. So I think the president's vision here is to bring in overseas workers where these jobs went.
Who have skills.
Who have the skills, 3, 5, 7 years to train the U.S. workers. Then they can go home. The U.S. workers fully take over.
So do you understand the concern that people have? Hey, an American could have that job. Why you give it to a guy from
But an
India or
American
China?
can't have that job.
So
because,
it's specific skills.
Because we haven't built ships in the U.S. for years. We haven't built semiconductors. So this idea of overseas partners coming in, teaching American workers, then returning home, that's a home run.
So when you listen to Treasury Secretary, IRS Commissioner Scott Bessent there talking, does he have any other jobs? He's no Marco Rubio.
No, he seems like he does, but I can't remember.
Thug.
Yeah, he's the muscle.
He's the muscle of the administration. Does that make sense what he's saying about the H-1B visas, that there are people we have not built these, we have offshored so much production in our country, which is the problem, that the people who do these things have been doing them elsewhere. We have not been training American workers to do these jobs. So to say Americans are going to do these jobs, now fire all the foreign workers, we're putting Americans in there, the product would suffer to a great degree. So what he's saying, that didn't he just say there that we would train American workers to take over?
Yeah, that's what he said. I liked what he said there.
Are you panicking about this?
I don't know why that's that big of a deal. He clarified it better than Trump did, I think, and maybe that's why he was sent out, is to clarify these
I think
things.
Scott Bessent uses periods in his sentences.
He does. But I also see why people are going, well, why not make that the focal point? Because what he's saying is very practical. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. It's just that the message usually from this administration is America first, here's how we'll get there. And it was like this time they did it in reverse. Here's how we'll get there to get America first. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just the message is kind of different than usual.
Do you feel like the people who have been wrapped, I don't want to say wrapped up, because I would put myself in that category probably as well. So I don't want it to be like an us-them on the right side of the aisle. But do you feel like there are people who just don't have the required patience that it takes to watch government work at the glacial pace that it's working at, even in a Trump administration? Like, things are going pretty fast, in my opinion, faster than I actually expected. But there are people who are still working hard on trying to squeeze out the last drop of patience that they have because they just don't think the president's getting enough done.
Yes, that's a fact, but I can also tell you why I think that is a fact and why it's happening right now. Typically, at this point in a presidency, you're just past the election, you're not quite a year in. At this time in 2021, for whatever reason, you also saw the media start to really turn on Biden temporarily. They would criticize him. They would say things that they wouldn't say in election season. And then, at about March, when the next primaries are starting, they start to circle the wagons again. I think that's what's happening with the influencer section of MAGA right now, that there hasn't been that bombshell that they've been waiting for, that I've been waiting for. There hasn't been the bombshell that somebody comes out and says, well, here's how Russian interference, here's how we made that up, or here's how the 2020 election was stolen, or
Do you
something
think
like
that
that.
if it would have been the day before Election Day in 2024, and someone would say, this time next year, Comey will have been indicted, Brennan will have been subpoenaed by a grand jury, and Strzok and Page and all of those, like the 30 subpoenas that would have gone out, like less than a year in, that John Bolton will have been indicted. I guess, has Letitia James been indicted? She's been indicted, right? In mortgage fraud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Adam Schiff, has he been indicted?
I haven't seen that he's been in
I don't know.
mortgage fraud, wasn't it?
I don't know if he's been
they're
indicted
talking
yet,
about
but
it. Yeah, I just don't know.
there's a grand jury, like he's under grand jury investigation. Like if somebody would have said to you the day before Election Day, 1 year from now, all of this will already be in motion, I would think people would be like, are you serious? Whoa.
Yes. Well, so the point you bring up is good because this stuff takes time and they're moving pretty fast on these criminal indictments. And of big major players that we've known their names, we've known, kind of the whisper campaign of what they were doing, and now it's actually happening. I will say, though, that the influencer crowd that we're talking about, they would have said, why wasn't it done day one? Which is unrealistic.
Because you don't even have a confirmed FBI director, attorney general. Like they slow rolled all of this stuff, and I don't want photo op arrests. The worst thing I can think of is Comey walking out in handcuffs with a smirk on his face because he knows this is just for show. What the Democrats did was just for show. It all crumbled underneath the weight of itself. I want the converse. I want all of the substance to be below the surface so that as you get a hold of it, you realize, oh, this thing is deep and we're going all the way down. The surface level photo op arrests and people in prison, they have to be rightfully detained, and they only should be rightfully detained if they're going to stay there. And if they don't have the goods, folks, like how much stuff could the FBI that was hiding things in burn bags and closet space, how much stuff could they have corrupted along the way? Why would it be beyond belief that the information that our current Justice Department and FBI have access to is corrupt information? They have to be able to prove all of that. And I don't want it unless it is air freaking tight. The rest of it is just politics. There's law and order. There's justice. Nobody is above the law. And then there's politics. And politics is spinning people to see things the way you see them, but more importantly, feel things the way you want them to feel. And I'm done with feelings. I want substance. I want what is real. And if you can't get to the provable evidentiary fact of the matter, then we don't have it. Of course they covered their tracks. So it's going to take a lot of work, and we're not even, 10 months into this presidency? Calm down, Ryan. I'm tired of your crap.
I think apology is in order, and it is my fault that all of this has happened. And I'm sorry.
Ooh, that's evergreen.
No, it's not.
Thank you. When we come back, we'll talk to Jessica Vaughan about this whole H-1B issue that's up right now, because President Trump is not, I think another thing is the 600,000 Chinese students that are being allowed to come into the country. Why is that happening? That's another issue. But the H-1B visa workers, people are saying, put Americans in that job. And I think that we're all saying, put Americans in that job. But I don't want unqualified Americans. That's like inverted DEI. We need qualified people, right? To do all of these things. So let's train Americans, and the second that they're trained, get them in the jobs. But if they're not trained, don't put them there just because they're Americans. If we have a process where we're bringing in vetted people who are contributing to the society that we're living in, there has to be an off-ramp or an on-ramp. I guess it's a glass half full thing. Jessica Vaughan, an expert, a director of policy at the Center for Immigration Studies, with us next.
You make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for
Home Shield Foundation Repairs.com. Have you called Matt Hayes yet for your basement cracks? I'm not going to do one of those today. I'm going to do this one straight, Ryan. Leave me alone.
You're putting yourself out to dry on this.
3-1 to dry your
Hanging
basement.
yourself
314-227-9636. 314-227-9636. Yes, if you call Matt Hayes, he will come look at your crack in your basement. 314-227-9636 and your walls and your foundation, of course. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. You go to the website, you can learn about their basement waterproofing services. You can request a free inspection by just filling out the form right there on their website. You go to Basement Waterproofing. All the information you need to get in touch with them is there. But I will also encourage you to just call Matt Hayes directly at 314-227-9636. They have decades of experience in the bi-state region, making sure that your basement is officially waterproof, and they'll slap a lifetime warranty on that service to make sure that they stand by their work. And you always reach out to them and call for needed issues after the cause. 314-227-9636. You can find them online, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
The ACA Market Plan has just announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has zero outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg, and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numb feet, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Patton, D.C. Doctor, what is neuropathy?
Peripheral neuropathy is nerve damage to the feet and legs.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
It's absolutely treatable, and we have amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, coldness in your feet or hands or balance issues, call us at Comprehensive Integrated Health today for a nerve damage screening. The screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for our cutting-edge treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, and even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Call 636-538-5188. That's 636-538-5188 for your free nerve damage screening. 636-538-5188.
So Demetri Martin is a comedian. He's coming to town November 20th. If you hear me promoting that and you go, Demetri Martin, I don't know the name. Well, he's one of those guys, if you see his face, you see a little bit of his material, you've seen him before. He's actually very, very funny. Demetri Martin is coming to town November 20th, and we are giving away free tickets at about 2:30. So be sure to stick around for that if you want to win some free tickets for that show. The time right now is 1:35, and this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
25 years strong. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
This love is getting kind of dangerous. Feels like it's a loaded gun. My mind is turning like a cloud of dust. My heart always wants to run.
If you want to raise wages
wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent.
We have plenty of talented people
here.
No, you don't. We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well,
I'll
give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. Making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years, and they're going to start making missiles.
So President Trump speaking in an exclusive there with Laura Ingraham, and the H-1B visa issue has become a very hot talking point. I will highlight, before we get to our guest here, that Laura Ingram's asking about these H-1B visa workers and the need for American workers. The first thing Trump says is, I agree with you, but then he goes into an explanation as to why it's not as easy as flipping a switch. So let's get some basic information about what the H-1B visa program is and where it should go in an America First direction, if maybe Laura Ingraham is right on this one, or maybe the president is. Jessica Vaughan joins us once again here, Director of Policy at the Center for Immigration Studies, to talk to us a little bit about this. Jessica, we welcome your expertise here on our show. Thanks for being with us today.
Good to be with you.
Thank you. Can you just give us, for somebody who's heard H-1B and has no idea what that means, talk to us super basic at first, and then we'll get into maybe what should happen next.
Sure. The H-1B visa is a temporary work visa that was designed and sold to Congress and the public as a way to allow companies to bring in skilled foreign workers who had at least a college degree to meet temporary labor shortages in areas where there were spot shortages or not enough Americans who had the skills that companies needed to meet demand for whatever product they had. And it's usually most often associated with the tech sector. However, the way this program works in reality now at this point in time, and it has for decades, is that staffing companies, primarily from India, have used this visa program as a way to bring in workers primarily in the tech sector, but in other areas as well, and with the explicit purpose of replacing Americans, selling their product, which is workers, to American companies to lower their labor costs and replace American workers with the cheaper visa workers, and who were willing to stick around at a lower rate of pay because they have the opportunity possibly to get a green card after the temporary visa expires. There are a lot of problems on why this doesn't work out very well like that right now, but that's what it's become, that these people don't realize the extent to which this program is dominated by staffing companies, body shops, whose explicit business model is to bring in cheaper workers from abroad to replace American workers. Now, there are legitimate uses of the H-1B program. Sometimes companies are able to, identify a worker overseas that has some unique talent that they are willing, that they're hoping to acquire on a temporary basis. But now they can hardly ever do that because the staffing companies dominate this limited number, for the most part, of H-1B workers. It's also become a way for employers in the higher education industry because they're exempt from the annual cap on these visas. So they can also bring in cheaper workers to do certain kinds of functions and replace their American staff and get away with lowering their labor costs.
Okay, so that's a really good foundational understanding of what the system was set up to do, but then also how it's kind of lost its way. I was going to ask you, is it cheap? Can an American company employ the H-1B? Just, I've got option A and I've got option H-1B. And if option A is American and H-1B is somebody who is here foreign, who has the ability to perform the job, it is a better bottom line of your balance sheet financial decision right now, incentivized to hire the H-1B visa. Is that basic?
Most definitely. And it's actually, that's not quite the decision they're making. Like the U.S. company is saying, oh, I've got this Indian staffing company who's telling me that they can replace my data center employees and run it at a much cheaper cost. So it's not like I'm going to choose this individual H1, but yes, they're choosing them in groups. They're choosing to outsource the hiring decision to a staffing company that's going to bring in almost exclusively workers from India. There are other countries that participate as well, but usually it's an Indian-owned staffing company that brings in workers from India, and it's not one worker that gets replaced. It's usually, an entire office of people.
So let me ask you this question. We're speaking with Jessica Vaughan, who's the Director of Policy at the Center for Immigration Studies. Is there a very positive, beneficial use for the H-1B program in the United States of America? And if there is, what would that look like?
Well, it's possible to conceive of a way this program could be helpful to companies. I mean, I think it's good for American companies to have access to global talent. But to do that, to prevent the abuse and replacement of American workers, we need to keep the numerical limits, and once there's a limit, we should be offering these visas to the companies that are willing to pay the highest salaries. And that way, it's unlikely that they're going to be using them to replace Americans. They're going to be looking for those individuals with special skills, talent, expertise. And also, we need to make it temporary. Right now, the first visa is for 3 years, and they can renew it once, and then they can stay indefinitely if an employer offers to sponsor them for a green card. If we want this to be a temporary work permit, we should say, okay, you can come for 2 years, you can extend it for 2 more after that, and then your employer, if a visa is available, should be able to sponsor you, but if not, you have to go home. Sure. And that way, it's not like a pipeline of new immigration. It's much more limited to individuals, not groups of people, and the employers have to pay for that talent. That shows that they really want it, and that there may actually be a shortage of that particular expertise. And, it's just not going to have as much abuse as happens now, and in lower numbers.
You're listening to Director of Policy at the Center for Immigration Studies. Jessica Vaughan is speaking with us right now. So let's talk a little bit about what President Trump said there in that conversation with Laura Ingraham. She was basically taking kind of a hard stance, which I understand for the sake of asking a question why she was doing it. She was saying, get rid of the H-1Bs and put American workers in there. We've got American skilled workers. They should be in there, and they should be doing the jobs. And then he took the example, which is an extreme example, but probably still fits into the context of a much more complicated situation than maybe a 30-minute conversation. Asking a bunch of other questions can bear out. He said, you can't take somebody who's been unemployed for 5 years, pluck them out of the unemployment line, and put them in the factory line to make missiles. So that is an extreme example as well. I would like to know what you think about what President Trump is saying. It seems as though he's heading in the direction towards prioritizing American workers, but he's saying we can't just upend the entire H-1B system that we have right now. There's going to have to be a process. Do you think that that's accurate?
Well, I actually think Laura was closer to the truth than the president, although, certainly the situation he's talking about does exist. Mm-hmm. But, who's to say? I don't think we can bring in foreign workers to immediately begin building missiles either for a lot of reasons. security reasons among them.
Good point.
I think the president is hearing from employers that they have trouble filling certain kinds of jobs. And I think that can be addressed through training programs, through more recruiting, for not allowing employers to become dependent on visa workers. And I think Laura's right that the issue is not that the issue is to prevent Americans from, especially in some of these specialty occupations, from being on the unemployment line to begin with at all, because they were replaced by visa workers. We should just make it harder for employers to do that. It was never supposed to be a program where Americans got replaced by H-1B workers, and that is exactly what it was, though. The president knows that. I mean, he's sat down with people who were fired by Disney, for example, when they replaced their whole tech staff with H-1Bs. He knows that happens. I think he just thinks that's the exception. And he's looking for a way to make sure that employers can get access to that global talent. But there are other visa programs for that. And there's a way to run the H-1B program, which he started to do, by the way, with this $100,000 fee that they're putting on top of it. So that's going to help, but that's not a real, comprehensive solution that's going to take care of all the problems.
Jessica Vaughan speaking with us from the Center for Immigration Studies. Is there a point in our political timeline here, with different administrations coming and going, is there a point where this system, where the H-1B visa thing took a drastic turn and we started seeing it flood into the country? Was there a specific moment when that happened?
Yes, it was in the 1990s, specifically when you might remember the Y2K issue that people were worried about it. And at that time, we actually had a shortage of tech workers that were needed to prepare American companies and governments with, what everyone was worried would be some kind of meltdown on January 1st.
A lot of anxiety went into that sucker.
Yes, and we did have a shortage at that time, and you could tell because wages were rising in the tech sector. Mm-hmm. So Congress actually opened the floodgates on the H-1Bs and allowed something like triple the number to be admitted over a period of several years. And a lot of those workers have never gone home, and yet the demand does not exist for them. I think the real problem is allowing this staffing company model to dominate the visa program in the way that it does, when that exists purely for, replacement with cheaper labor purposes. I think there's a way to get it back to a useful visa program through regulation can start, but really Congress needs to make this fix permanent. I'm not holding my breath for Congress to do anything nowadays.
Yeah, that I completely agree with that, and I think that I'm glad that it's part of the conversation right now. Like the necessary thing that needs to take place is people need to be upset about it. Experts like yourself need to be heard about this. And then, of course, the president needs to be advised smartly about this. Do you have a solution in mind? Like, where is the target to kind of take the system as it is right now and cause it to come crumbling down? I mean, is it an elimination of those, job banking services? Is that the answer, the fix for this? Where do you start?
I think that's one answer, is to try to write the third-party staffing companies out of the equation and see what happens. When individual employers then get access to this visa program, that will start to make it more like the president thinks it is, and also to, kind of auction these off to the highest bidder. He's a big believer in the free market. And I think that would show. I mean, we've done research that shows that the vast majority of H-1B workers are classified as trainees and entry-level workers and making lower salaries. That right there should tell you that these are not the best and the brightest. These are the cheapest. And his agencies could write regulations that would raise the wage requirements for this program, and that would make it more difficult for these staffing companies to make a profit off of this. But I think they should be written out of the equation and demand that employers be doing this individually on their own for specific individual worker needs, not for, like dozens and dozens at a time.
Real quick before we let you go, we're speaking with Jessica Vaughan at the Center for Immigration Studies. Do you believe that the president is near, from a policy standpoint, is he around the solution? Is he anywhere adjacent to, near the right solution? Maybe he just hasn't gotten to the one that is like fixable, applicable yet for this? Or do you feel like he needs to do an about-face on the H-1B issue?
Well, I think he needs to listen to more than certain employers. He needs to listen to young people in this country, like people who are graduating from college now and graduate school, and realizing that certain jobs are simply not open to them in their field of study in STEM because employers are choosing, foreign workers instead. The young voices are really very strong on this, becoming stronger and stronger as the realization grows that, the STEM career that they were told that they should pursue is not a viable option for them. I think that would help.
I would think artificial intelligence coming in and taking other jobs that are available to people, entry-level jobs that are available to people too, would cause a need for some of these potentially to be back of interest to the American worker, hopefully.
Yeah, that's true. It's we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. That's a big unknown right now.
It is.
Is it going to create a demand for certain types of skills in to develop these programs, or are a lot of people going to be replaced by it? It's hard to say.
Well, Jessica, your knowledge base here is fantastic. Thank you for talking to us about this issue. We look forward to hopefully having you back, as this issue is certainly going to continue to be top of mind for the administration, for the country, and we'd love to have you back.
Oh, thanks. Anytime.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Jessica Vaughan, Director of Policy at the Center for Immigration Studies, talking with us there about the H-1B issue that Laura Ingraham really made top of mind for people in this conversation. So the YouTube poll for today, I voted for Trump and fill in the blank. He's exceeded my expectations. He's met my expectations. He's failed my expectations, or I didn't vote for Trump. You have an answer for this one, Ryan?
Yeah, I do. He has met my expectations. The problem is he has set a pretty high bar for himself in the speed with which he works and gets things done.
Joe Biden set a pretty low bar.
He did. And
that caused a lot of things to need to be resolved.
It's such a swing of the pendulum. But he has maintained that speed in this. Now, I didn't know exactly what this would look like. Nobody did. But I don't think he's taken the foot off the pedal. There's just some of those big marquee things that we've talked about already, even in this hour, that haven't come up as justice served yet for certain issues. And I'm not being vague on purpose. I'm just saying there are like a few of them that haven't made the news cycle yet. And it's because they're still in progress. And to me, we really shouldn't judge him based on those things. He's moving fast.
I also think that you can't not acknowledge the left's use of the legal system still to just drag this down. I mean, the government shutdown is a premier example of obstruction because that's all they can do. I'm not sitting here saying if the Republicans were in the position that the Democrats were in, which was the first 2 years of President Biden's, right? Didn't he have everything? He had everything.
Yeah.
For 2 years. I mean, that was so devastating. 2020 was such a devastating election for Republicans. If the Republicans were obstructing, in some cases, that's all that they could do. But you wanted to know that they were doing it for the right cause, like that there was a purpose for it. And looking at the Democrats shutting down the government for, is it 54 days? Did I see it was 54 days? 45 days? I don't remember.
Well, today isn't, but I think by when it ends, it will be.
Okay, I saw 54, whatever. But to shut it down and for them to walk away with nothing just shows that they're not in the business of legislating. And if they're in the minority, Annie, can they really legislate? You can fight for something. There's got to be something out there that you can agree with some of these Republicans, because the Republicans are a pretty dynamic group. in Congress right now. They do not agree on everything. There are populists. There are some traditionalists. There are fiscal conservatives. There are libertarians. There is something to hang your hat on that if you wanted to get something done and then champion that they couldn't have done this without the Democrats, you could do it. But that's not what the Democrats right now want to do. They want to halt everything in its tracks, and that's the best they can do. They hold on tight. And if you're looking at what the president has been able to get done in 9.5 months, you have to factor in how much obstruction has taken place by the Democrats for this long. More YouTube poll conversation next. Don't go away.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. Let me talk to you about the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk line of carpet. This is a quality line of carpet. Superior, you might say. Superior performance, silky softness. They have 3 times more individual fibers than ordinary nylon carpet. Each strand of Smart Strand silk carpet is packed with 700 silk-like stain-resistant fibers. So when you invest in that Smart Strand Mohawk silk line of carpet that is going to transform your home, the freshness, the softness when you walk on it with your bare feet, that smell of fresh carpet in your house, it's going to make everything in your home come to life when you go shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet for this brand. It's a quality brand, and when you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet, you want quality and value. And they've been working with people exactly like you for over 3 decades here in the bi-state region to make sure that quality and value is delivered every time. Read the reviews online. You can request an estimate as well for Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find them online at igotfloored.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Hey, with cooler weather moving in, don't put yourself at risk for a power outage. Get a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. This is all about giving yourself peace of mind by calling now for a free estimate. You won't have to worry about waiting on hold with the power company. No more worrying about your home when you're away. Get a free estimate on a generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Financing is available. 314-499-2020. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, an Odyssey station.
A united front from Democrats. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
House Democrats are here on the Capitol steps.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries reiterating their opposition to a shutdown-ending spending bill passed in the Senate.
Because it fails to address the Republican health care crisis, and it fails to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits.
The House set to vote on that bill later today. The White House says President Trump would sign the current version if it wins final approval, also saying that once the government reopens, the president is open to having conversations about health care and suggesting some policy proposals from the president are likely. The White House accusing Democrats of a smear campaign after leaked emails raising questions about the extent of the president's past ties to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C., and it is not a coincidence
that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat in the liberal media.
Spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt reiterating that the president did nothing wrong and saying the administration has been more transparent than any other about the Epstein case, with thousands of documents released so far and ongoing cooperation in a House oversight probe. The president just posting that Democrats will do anything to deflect on how badly he says they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects, adding that Republicans should be focused only on opening up the country and fixing the massive damage, he says, from the shutdown. The final penny is struck at the U.S. Mint.
Let me be crystal clear. The penny remains legal tender.
But U.S. Treasurer Brandon Beach says neither the Treasury Secretary nor President Trump believe it's fiscally responsible or necessary to keep making them. Producing 1 penny now costs nearly 4 cents. America is listening to Fox News.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
DayQuil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Our temperature roller coaster ride continues. Pretty nice out there this afternoon with a high of 65, plenty of sunshine. Clear skies tonight. We will drop out of the 60s and well into the 50s for evening plans. 39 for the low. Thursday, partly sunny, 65. Let's keep it going. Friday, sunny and 75. Saturday, sunny and 78. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to get ready for cold weather and schedule your heating system check. Get not just your heating system, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back. Yesterday was a great day, Veterans Day, and we were at the Edwardsville Veterans Day Parade, and it was so beautiful. The weather was as perfect, I think, as it could be for a parade like that, and people showed up. The streets were lined the whole way of the parade. We had a really good time.
Yeah, it was a surprise, too, how nice the weather ended up being, because I don't know if you woke up yesterday morning, it was pretty cold and chilly and kind of gloomy. And by the time the parade started at 3 o'clock, it was sunny, it was not that windy, and you just wanted to be outside. So I think a lot of people joined us.
It was like a good fall day. It was chilly, a little crisp wind in the air, and the sun reminded you that it wasn't miserable outside, and really cool to be able to honor veterans in that way. I said this to you guys yesterday, but I always feel weird being in a parade where I want to thank the people. Like, I am not a veteran, so we go there, and I'm always like trying to pick out the veterans. A lot of them wear their hat or they wear their shirt for their branch of military, whatever it might be. I always feel a little weird being in the center of that experience when it's really about everybody else around us.
Yeah, I actually yesterday while we were in the parade, I remembered, this is Annie does this every year we're in this. She finds the veterans who are on the sidelines in the parade, because there's a lot of veterans in the parade too, but not on our truck. but so we don't get to talk to them, but we do pass everybody that we're going by, and you are like very deliberate, like thank you.
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, let's go for it.
Well, it was a great parade. Thank you, Edwardsville, for having us back. We look forward to doing it again next year. And they used to do it at night at 7 p.m. I am not opposed to it being at 3 p.m.
This is better.
This is better.
It's better weather.
Yes.
Usually.
Do you have any veterans in your life?
Extended family.
Are there people who you specifically pick out or thank or?
Yeah. So extended family, yes. We had a World War II veteran. He's gone now. My uncle was a Vietnam veteran. He was a cook though. He didn't like see battle.
Still,
But
you got to cook for the people who see battle.
Totally. Oh, I'm not like diminishing. I'm just saying he wasn't somebody that you saw battle for. He was not in harm's way. But there is a guy that is pretty close with us at church. Well, you know what? I've got good friends who are veterans. They just hadn't ever been in like veterans of wars.
Veterans are veterans. They sign up and they don't know what they don't know where the time is going to take them.
I mean, I have very, very close friends who are veterans. They're Air Force veterans, still serving in some capacity. Usually, in most of them are in like civilian work now. So yes, I mean the answer to your question is yes.
What about you, Brad?
Well, my father-in-law served as a major in the United States Air Force. He was in Vietnam and several other conflicts. Meteorology. Super cool to listen to him tell stories because we'll be watching like the History Channel or something, and they'll tell us stories like this is recently declassified, and he'll point to that and be like, "Oh, I worked on that project."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, holy cow!" But also, I have people that I played softball with that were in Afghanistan, they were in Iraq. You know, our generation that signed up after September 11th. Lots of friends like that, and then other friends that have served in peacetime. I mean, my whole church we're right outside of Scott Air Force Base, so we have got a huge veteran population there too.
My grandpa was a captain in World War II and the captain in the Army. He made maps here in the Midwest, like farm maps, apparently. And that kind of accelerated when he was drafted for World War II. That accelerated him because he had a skill that could be replicatable in a quite useful way to... My recollection, I hope, Dad, I'm not getting this wrong, but that he would make maps like he'd kind of like pregame. You know, you need to know what the map, you need to know what the land is, the topography, the pathways, blah, 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 blah. But he would spend some time in some airplanes helping make maps for the war. And I just think that's a really, you're talking about cooks and meteorologists, like all of these things. It's not just go in and shoot people dead before you get shot dead. That is what you would refer to as the front line, of course. But there's so much that goes into being good at war. At winning wars, because no war is worth being in if you cannot win it. And I think about all of the different skills that would have to be pulled, like at the drop of a hat, it was like, suit up, we're going in. Especially after the United States in World War II, kind of like it took a while for them to get going, to jump into this thing that was getting way out of hand. I'm in awe of these people that choose to sign up and answer the call. My grandpa met my grandma when he was stationed in Australia, and my grandpa was in the building next to or down the street of General MacArthur in the South Pacific Theater. Like, that's just really amazing world history that my grandpa was in proximity of. And my grandma actually is a veteran in the sense that she served Australia. So she was there. I don't know if she did kind of like clerical administrative stuff, but she and my grandpa met, I think, at a dance hall or something. It's like a movie. It should be a movie. And they dated for some months, and then they ended up getting married. She got on a boat and came to the States, came through Union Station here in St. Louis, and lived with her mother-in-law for an amount of time waiting for my grandpa to come home from the war. Thank God he did. You wouldn't be listening to the show if you didn't. I'll put it that way. But it's, there's so many American stories that start kind of like that. And, that's the story of an immigrant. Like, that's an understood thing. And when people talk about this country being built on immigrants, I mean, it is true. But the idea of being an immigrant to come here to assimilate in something different and new and become American is a part of that conversation, that story that gets left out with regularity for the benefit of a political party. Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like, are we, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, which is where I should stop talking, but are we Native Americans?
Yeah, that's why they don't use that term anymore.
They don't use that term anymore?
No, the PC term now I think is something like
Indigenous people. Is it because we are, I'm a Native American,
but
right?
the other thing is that we also are indigenous peoples, so they don't use that term anymore, and they've actually gone back.
Indians?
I followed this track to American Indian. That's the now.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
You're certain about that?
Yeah, I'm very certain.
Who are they?
I don't know. Who are they?
I'm always trying to be super specific when I'm talking about things. When if we say the grand they, that we should know who they are. All I got to think is that they are got to be higher education.
Yes,
People
well, it's the
who
people
sit around
who,
and get paid, subsidized,
right,
to come up with a new Native American.
Yeah, that's how they contributed to society. It's also journalists. They will just start adopting new phrases. It's the AP handbook with something like this that'll adjust and say, no, it's not the way we say that anymore. Like, you don't say ladies and gentlemen anymore.
Darn
You
right
say
I do.
Men and women. Like, that kind of crap is what they push down.
Indigenous definition: originating or occurring naturally in a particular place.
Right.
Native.
Yeah. That's what we are.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. I think we should have. I think we should have a name for the American Indian people. I want to laud and respect them for their heritage, for their part of the American story. Like, they absolutely should be. There should be a classification or a name or whatever it is for those people. But it's kind of funny to think that we're really Native Americans.
Isn't it? The other funny thing is that you're right. With a lot of this stuff, it's all PC and, we got to change the name of the Redskins and stuff like that. And you get lost in kind of the cultural battle of it. But that's one with Native Americans, indigenous people, calling people originally Indians, that I always thought, they actually do need a more specific name, because when I was a kid, even in the 80s, you called Native Americans, whatever we call
Indians.
Indians. You just said
Yeah.
Indians, cowboys and Indians, that kind of stuff.
And it was kind of wild when you realized, when you were a child, like we were a child of the 80s and then the 90s, that you realized that you also call people from India Indians.
And that's why you were
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, this can't really
They were
work.
two completely different, like you
Yeah.
had two completely different understandings of, there was no conflict of those people. In the Venn diagram of peoples, they were separate.
Yeah. And you had to say, oh, no, not Indian, but Indian, or, like something like that, where
Indians from India.
Yeah, you had to clarify. And so I was never shocked to see, they're coming up with a different term, because it was so unclear what the original term was.
The second example from dictionary, I guess probably dictionary.com. So the first one is originating or occurring naturally in a particular place, native. The second one, in parentheses, it says of people. Inhabiting or existing in a land from the earliest times or from before the arrival of colonists.
Okay. I mean, you're adding a lot to that word that maybe wasn't there before.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, the weird thing is that definition came after the word was used in that way.
Right.
Which usually the definition precedes the usage of the word, but in this case, I guess it doesn't. I'm kind of in favor of calling American Indians, Native Americans, indigenous people, whatever it is, whatever they want to be called. Like, you just tell us.
I mean,
I don't need like academia or head up their butt journalism which is, I really think, kind of the same people. I really don't need them to tell us what they need to be referred as.
Yes, thank you. That's a great point. And I think that's where American Indian came from, is that American Indians said, you know what? How about we decide and you stop making up names that also are unclear? Because they all are.
Yeah. I mean, the semantics matter to some people, but they often don't matter nearly as much to the people who are being put upon by those who are standing around and going, no, you're victimized people. You guys, see, there's a ladder, and you're down here, and we want everybody to know that, so we're going to call you something and then shame people when they don't do what we say.
It's almost to a T the exact same issue that came up earlier this year when the state of Illinois decided you can't use your mascots anymore. We know better than you. And then
the K-Hawks.
Yes, and then the
Indians.
The local tribes, like the heritage of the tribes, said, hang on a second, where is this coming from? Because it's not from us. At least
and like
most of them.
K-Hawk isn't even a tribe.
Right.
It's a made-up thing.
Yeah. Based on Cahokia, but it's not spelled that way. It's a different thing.
And there are no K-Hawks.
Right.
Except for in Collinsville, and I'm proud to report that they are still in Collinsville.
Hey, you want a success story from this year? There's
the
one right there.
And the midgets.
Yep.
Somehow are still there in Freeburg.
And the Granite City Warriors.
Yep. Muscuda Indians.
Yep.
Yeah, they're still there.
Yeah. Like, is Illinois in such great shape that this is what we're worried about? Lord have mercy. Christ have mercy. Lord have mercy. We'll take a break. The YouTube live chat poll. I voted for Trump and fill in the blank. He's exceeded my expectations. He's met my expectations. He's failed my expectations. Or I didn't vote for Trump. Maybe we'll do this poll on Friday, but instead of talking about Trump, we'll just talk about Ryan.
Okay.
He's exceeded my expectations. He's met my expectations. He's failed my expectations. I don't even know why he's here.
Let's just assume that whatever these results are mirror mine.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll keep that in mind when Ethan gives them to us at the end of the show. Ethan will be in here for Sports and Local next. And at 2:30, we're going to do a Wednesday edition of Tuesday, since we weren't here, X's and Y's. You got questions about boys and girls? Throw them in the YouTube live chat comments or text us your X's and Y's questions. 314-241-9797. And don't forget, Ryan gets to read these, so enjoy. 314-241-9797. Your X's and Y's questions. We'll do that at 2:30. Ethan, next. Don't go away.
Walk on the ocean, step on the stones, flesh becomes water, wood becomes bone.
TheDiamondShop.net in Clayton. You know where to go to get that beautiful, beautiful red bag that when she sees that red bag, she's going to go, ooh, what did you do? Where'd you go? What'd you get? That holiday season is upon us, and now is a great time to go into the Diamond Shop and start talking about what you're searching for and a budget. You walk in, you say, I'm looking to spend like $100. They're going to have $100 options for you. Now, if you want to jack that up a little bit and you want to get something really nice, remember, it's timeless. It's something that can be inherited over the course of generations, of course. Diamond Shop knows how to listen to what you are seeking out and to meet that moment with something spectacular. It happens again and again and again. And I hear from you folks who have been just as satisfied as customers, as clients of the Diamond Shop, as I have, as my husband has. They don't miss. And when you go to the website, you can become a VIP, get a little access to some extra specials that might be available to you. All the information you need, you can visit them in Clayton, but online at TheDiamondShop.net.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
This is Kyle Bush with Krintz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. How many times have you changed jobs over the years? If you're like many professionals, you may have left behind one or more 401ks. Unwatched, unmanaged, and potentially your largest retirement asset. Just because it's out of sight doesn't mean it should be out of mind. Let's make sure it's working as hard for your future as you are. Your goals, our mission, start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Prince Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Lights flickering?
Grasser can fix it.
Breaker keeps tripping?
That's a Grasser job.
Outlet not working?
Grasser makes it right.
Old wiring need a rewire?
Grasser rewires with care.
From little fixes to major fixes,
Even the tricky ones.
we treat your home like our own.
Treat? Did you say treat?
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you can find the feel you're looking for, from smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
Now, back to the Annie Fry Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Little Donnie's Daily Chore.
Oh boy. His name's not even Donnie.
I know.
Somebody go get Donnie. I'm just joking.
The only chore part about this is dealing with you, Ryan Wiggins.
Oh, slam.
Oh!
Shots fired.
Dude, that was so mean. And it was live.
Thought you were going to say it was pretty sick, because I thought it was.
Sick burn.
You know, when I was going through my daily routine of finding out what stories are we going to talk about on Little Donnie's, whatever it was
Daily
called today.
Chore.
Daily Chore. Thank you, Ryan. I
Sounds
started
like a bathroom activity.
Oh.
You know, there's something about it that made me go, it sounds kind of weird and gross.
You know why? It's because two of the words start with D.
Okay.
That's why.
I don't know what that even means.
Little Donnie's.
We'll go over letters later.
Okay.
So I was going through, and I kind of forgot that it wasn't the weekend. It just feels weird because we had yesterday off. It just feels weird. So,
yeah.
Still plenty of stuff went on yesterday, the last couple of days, that are worth mentioning. First off, a shout out to the Illinois basketball team. Beat number 11 Texas Tech yesterday, 81-77. We're trailing by 13 at the half, and they came back and won that game. And now they face off against Colgate. Going to be battling a bunch of dentists on Friday night, so that'll be fun.
Because it's toothpaste.
Yeah. Do you like that?
Yeah.
Thank
Good thing
you.
you're here,
Appreciate
Ryan.
that. I'm glad you are here, Ryan.
If I hadn't,
Kind
it'd be
of.
like dentist?
Just gonna call you Footnote.
What? What up, you guys? It's Footnote. That sounds like a podcast character.
Yeah, that sounds like a podcast you'd listen to.
In other good news, the Blues were 3-2 winners last night against the Calgary Flames.
Let's go Blues!
Nathan Walker scored the game-winning goal. Oscar Sundqvist had 2 assists as well. The Blues
Are the Blues back?
Heck yeah, baby!
They improved to a shiny 6-8-3 record.
Yeah,
6-8-3 is not as bad as I would have guessed.
It's still near the bottom of the NHL, but there's we got a ways to go, but it's a step in the right direction. Jordan Binnington set the franchise record last night for most games played by a goalie. So congratulations to
showing
Jordan
up.
Binnington.
Good for him.
He's been around for a little
At the
while.
end of the game, I
think
put a puck in my pants.
Where does Binnington rank in St. Louis Blues goalies?
Number 1.
Ever?
Yes, I'd put him number 1.
Cujo.
Just because of the Stanley Cup, or
that was a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have the most wins?
He has the most wins as well.
Just
yeah,
because of the Stanley Cup.
I would say that's a decent part of it.
right?
Yeah. I think that out of all the players that are currently on the Blues roster, he has the best chance of having a statue outside of the Enterprise Center someday.
Really?
So, yes.
Well, I'm asking questions that I have no idea what the answer is.
Sure.
But is Binnington like Hall of Fame worthy?
Not at this point. If he had a better team
Attitude?
in front of him for
No,
a
just
couple
kidding.
of those years, maybe. The thing that is so great about
He's gonna find me in the streets, make me pay.
Listen
here, Annie.
I heard you.
Annie Frey.
Why does he sound like that?
Because he's about to cut her. He's not going to approach real nice.
With his skate.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if
I'm
someone
gonna
up
cut
to Binnington and said, "If you had a better attitude, you could make the Hall of Fame"? I think his attitude is Hall of Fame worthy. It's what I like most about him.
There's so many things. I would love to see the statue of Bennington, him like yanking his shorts out and like holding a puck over them.
Doing a little Irish jig.
I think if I interviewed Jordan Binnington, that it would sound and look a lot like a Between Two Ferns interview, but I would be serious. I would know what to ask or how to ask it.
Jordan Binnington.
Jordan, huh? You related to Michael?
Oh, you're making your joke. See, I don't know. I was like, did I say the wrong first name? But it's Jordan Binnington.
Yeah, I don't know what's Ryan's
Who's
doing.
Michael Binnington?
I don't know. I don't know. But you broke Ryan.
Yes.
I think he broke himself. He's doing his own chore over there.
Yep, get it out. There you go. Jordan Binnington, when you look at the resume, game by game, the regular season numbers are not off the charts, but he almost always steps up in the big moment. And that's kind of been the thing about Jordan Binnington, is you get the version of him you get in the regular season, but then it feels like it always goes up a notch.
Blues Hall of
once you get
Fame?
to the 100%.
No doubt about that.
No doubt
NHL
about it.
Hall of Fame?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
One more quick one.
Yeah. Starting on January 1st, the minimum wage in Missouri is going to be going up to $15
Holy
from
smokes.
$13.75.
That's over twice what I made when I made minimum wage.
I didn't know it was at $13.75 right now.
Yeah, Missouri, you're out of control.
3 times.
Dang, why don't they raise it to 30?
$13.75 is more than what I made per hour when I first started at Odyssey 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is.
They should just keep raising it.
Yeah?
Just keep going up.
Till where, Ryan?
50, 100 an hour. Just keep going. I mean, that's the way it works.
Okay. That's all I got. Thanks
I'd ask
for
more
hanging.
questions and further this conversation, but Ryan keeps laughing at me, so we're going to take a break.
Michael Binnington.
And who is Michael Binnington? Is he a musician?
So I'll explain
Linkin
the
Park?
quick history. There was an old man named Michael Binnington.
Who lived in a shoe?
He fell on his Chinnington. And I'm not really sure the way the rest of that goes, but it's a rhyme.
X's and Y's next on the Annie Fry Show. Text us your boys and girls questions. You want to know something? Why do women blah, blah, blah? And why are men always da, 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 da? Fill in the blank. You can text us at 314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
Great news. Corel Roofing is going to partner with Sergeant Sparkles to install Christmas lighting on your home this year. Mark Cox here. Who better to get up on your roof to install lights than a roofing company? But wait, there's more. While they're up there, if they see some minor damage or an issue that needs attention, they're going to do that minor repair at no charge to get you through the winter. That provides pretty amazing value to get a small problem fixed at no charge while you get ready for the Christmas season. Now's also a good time for that full roof inspection. If you didn't get around to getting your roof inspected after the storms earlier this year, this is the time to schedule that. Even if the weather's too cold to have the roof replaced, you will be first on the list when warmer weather comes around in early spring. Call Curtis at Corel Roofing. Schedule your Christmas light installation and your roof inspection right now. That's 314-222-9529 or CorelRoofingCo.com.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Triton Exteriors. Not sure if you've noticed, but the storms seem to be especially bad this spring. If you had James Hardy Smart Siding, you wouldn't have to worry about it. It's not going to be damaged like in the 314-day storm. So we do roofing, siding, gutters, fences. We're always going to be the middle bid. We're never going to cut corners. We're never going to take advantage of you. Call 314-717-1159 or Triton-STL.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm Kristen Press. And I'm Tobin Heath. We're World Cup winners, Olympians, and the hosts of The Recap Show.
Every week, we sit down with the icons, disruptors, and game changers on the field and beyond it to talk victories, heartbreaks, and everything in between.
We've built a space where athletes, changemakers, and people creating the future of women's sports can show up and show off as their full, unapologetic selves.
Follow and listen to The Recap Show wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, St. Louis, how would you like to see if you, your family, or employees qualify for a health insurance plan that is open enrollment year-round? Bill Pauly and his team at the Pauly Agency put the sure in insurance. Call to set an appointment at 636-222-2149. That's 636-222-2149.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com. Hey, guys, are you dealing with low energy, weight gain, or issues in the bedroom? Game Day Men's Health is the premier men's health clinic in the St. Louis area with locations in Chesterfield and O'Fallon, Missouri. They specialize in low testosterone and sexual health, and they also help men and women with medical weight loss, vitamins, and peptides. They offer free consultations and testosterone tests with results in about 20 minutes. Get in, get answers, get back to the top of your game. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Again, that's GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
Demetri Martin is a comedian coming to town November 20th, and now is the time to call if you want free tickets to that show. The number is, here you go, 314-241-9797, 314-241-9797. We're going to take caller number 9, just in case you're catching this late and you think, oh, there's no chance I could win those. Yes, we're going to go through a full phone bank, so even if you're slow to the finger, you can still get there. 314-241-9797 to see Demetri Martin, comedian, on November 20th. There you go. It is 2:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Still leading 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. X's and Y's.
Well, you just gave out that phone number for people to win tickets, and the phones are blowing up. But you can text us as well, and we're encouraging listener participation in our X's and Y's segment here, where you can talk to us about, ask us the questions, and we'll try to answer. I speak on behalf of all of women. And Ryan Wiggins somehow, along with Brad, who helps him out, speaks on behalf of men.
Yes, I do.
314-241-9797. You can also send us your questions on the Annie Fright YouTube chat. Give us the first one from the listeners today, Ryan.
There's not one in the text yet from the listeners, but there is this suggestion. Ethan's segment from now on should be called the Daily Dump.
Oh, no.
No?
Lord knows it will happen.
Well, we'll see.
You just said to me that you had questions.
Oh, I have questions.
Okay,
personally.
Then ask.
Okay,
314-241-9797 if you want to text us a question.
Yeah.
Give us yours.
Okay, my question is, what percentage does a woman dress up for men versus women? So when you dress up, is it like 80-20, you're really trying to impress women versus men, or vice versa? Like, how do you break it out by percent?
Doesn't your period of life matter?
Yes.
Like, do you mean like me right now?
Yeah.
100% for me.
So you don't care about what anybody thinks?
I don't want to say that I don't care what people think or that I don't care what my husband thinks, but I know for a fact that Jared, I know that he will be the most attracted to me when I feel really good in what I'm wearing and how I've presented myself. So I wouldn't say that I like dress for him. And I know that's kind of like the whole like trad wife thing. There's a lot of talk about how women, Erica Kirk has been out there when Charlie Kirk was still alive, and they would do these podcasts where the two of them would talk about marriage and relationships and stuff. Erica Kirk would talk about the importance of looking nice for your significant other, taking care of yourself. She's like, if you can't afford to get your nails done, then just, keep them neat. Like all of these very 1950s-esque things. And I think that's all fine and good. But I think that there is something important about caring about your presentation around people because it's respectful of other people, how you present yourself around them. But I think that the most important thing, I think confidence, this sounds like a stupid magazine article or something like that, but I think that confidence is the most attractive thing on people. So when I get dressed, when I'm putting on something, especially if I'm like going in front of people, I need to wear something that I'm comfortable in, that I'm not thinking about when I'm wearing it. I just feel good the way I'm presenting myself, and then that's that. And then I'm able to relate with other people more. But that's like a super anti-fashion thing to say. I don't really want people to see what I'm wearing and make a judgment about me because of what I'm wearing. Is that strange?
No. But how has it changed at this age versus a younger age?
Like when I was single?
Yeah.
Well, then you're dressing a little bit to get a little of attention.
But it's still, though, when you go out, if you're single, you're young, or single now, are you going out with the intention to dress still for men, to attract men to you, or are you dressing for your
If I were
friends?
single, my thought process in getting ready would be to present myself in an attractive way. But you can present your physical body in a way that attracts attention that I would avoid doing, because I don't want a man, and I wouldn't want, if I were single, I wouldn't want a man to not be attracted to me or my body, but I don't want that to be the only thing they're paying attention to. So there wouldn't be a presentation of my physical self that would distract a man to only be thinking about that part of it. That sells the individual completely short. And I think that there can be a sexiness in modesty. And if you want to just like show everything, there's really nothing left for the eye of the beholder, for the mind. Like if you're just putting it all out there, I just think that is an indication that you are trying to look for something other than a relationship, which a lot of people are. That wouldn't have been me.
I learned that young. Don't show everything right away.
Jail?
No, just
that what the
attracting
officer
the
said?
wrong kind of girls. They just thought of me as
police
eye candy.
officers.
The ones in uniform.
What do you, when you get dressed?
I knew you were going to ask
Does
this.
any thought go into that?
I mean,
it's hard to tell.
Okay, at this age, only what my wife tells me I can wear and
Are
what
you
I cannot wear.
Let me ask you this question, men. Are you just trying to wear something that you can get out of the house without your wife going, is that what you're wearing?
Yes.
Does she do that?
Yes.
How frequently?
That's why I got to sneak when I go to parties with you guys.
And you do. And then you get there and you're there. And I'm like, are you wearing that?
Or I just bring it to work.
Do
so
you,
never sees it.
When you're going somewhere publicly, and it's kind of a, you're going to present yourself together. Maybe it's a date, but maybe the family is there too or whatever. How frequently do you get asked, are you going to wear those shoes? Are you going to wear that shirt?
She doesn't ask me. She just says, don't wear those. Wear this.
How frequently?
I would say every time I get dressed up.
You never nail it.
Not with average clothes. She does not care at all. I mean, once in a great while, she's like, if it's a new shirt or something. But for the most part, no comment ever. But when I'm getting dressed up,
something is getting edited.
Yes, 100% of the time. 100%.
That throat action in the yes.
Well, because you almost get to the point where you're like, oh, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw up kind of a red herring and make sure that she sees that, and she goes, oh, you can't wear that. And I'm like, okay, ready to go. Ready to take the belt.
Does it annoy you?
Yeah, but not a lot.
Is she correct?
I don't know.
She's
Otherwise,
correct.
I would not do it. I have no clue. The other thing I can't figure out with her, and maybe it's just her or maybe it's women, is if we see something decorative out, I'll look at something, I'll go, well, that really looks like something Katie would like. Sometimes clothes, but a lot of times it's just house decoration, stuff like that. And I'll either suggest it or take a picture, because I've gotten to the point where I won't buy it, and say, what do you think about this? And she is so unpredictable.
You have no idea?
I have no clue if she will like something or not. And never have found a trend, nothing.
She likes flowers.
Everybody likes flowers. Flowers
well, then it's
die.
easy.
I'm going to get you fake flowers.
Then get her jewelry.
And I'm going to keep giving the same flowers to you because they're still alive. That's what I'm going to do.
Brad, how many times how often do you go out the door and your wife is like,
Never. She never does.
Ryan, just take tips from Brad. He's flawless.
But the picture you're painting is you're like, well, getting ready to go out, and she's like, whatever. That's not your wife.
No, actually, like I think I'm more critical about what I wear than my wife is. I won't wear a shirt if I think that it doesn't fit right, and she will look at the exact same shirt.
Yeah,
like,
but
no,
you're
fine.
I was gonna say you're suggesting that what your view is on yourself, that she would agree with that every time. Like if you're
She's more encouraging than he is to himself,
and your wife to you.
Oh no, yeah,
Maybe
it's not encouraging.
Maybe you should send Mrs. Wiggins over to Brad's house.
I do need to be clear. She's not mean to me. She's just very opinionated.
That's all right. I'm right there with her. That's why she's my best friend. Does she just see you and just go, shoes?
Yeah. Gray shoes instead of brown. You know, like that's it. It's just like a fact. Like you should have known this.
So it's like,
but
is it like a color match thing that you struggle with?
I have no clue. I'm not colorblind, so it can't be that. You know, and I understand the opposite sides of the spectrum too, because like if you're wearing orange, you can wear blue. You know, if you wear red, you can wear green. I can get that, but I don't understand it. I get that exists. Like there's a color wheel.
All right. Well, Brad's flawless, so we'll move on
That
from
is
that.
not what I said.
I'm always saying to Jared, like, and I'll be honest, this is something that I don't know if this is in the Mrs. Wiggins category too. It happens just as much that my husband dresses nicer than I'm currently dressed.
Ooh.
And I'm like, I want to wear a hoodie or a sweatshirt.
I don't ever do that.
He'll come down because he wears teacher clothes, you know? So he's got teacher, like, kind of nicer clothes that he wears. We work in radio, so we're slobs, apparently.
Yeah.
Just ask, well, anyway.
Well, we are now, because first when I got on the show, I was dressing to the nines. And Annie was like, you will not show me up.
Yeah.
You dress down on this show.
He'll come down and he'll have on like dressier shoes, not tennis shoes or whatever, dressier shoes, jeans, and maybe a quarter zip or something. And I've already changed into, like, if we're going to a basketball game or something, not somewhere that is.
Yeah, you're just your schlubbies.
You're just going somewhere, and I'm like, we can't have this. Go dress down. Or if I'm wearing athletic pants from a practice or something like that, and we're going somewhere, I'm like, you need to get rid of the jeans.
Yeah, it's the end of the day. You're going to put on your corduroys.
Other than that, I don't. I don't know. I do edit. I think it sounds a lot like how your wife does it too.
Yeah.
More questions when we come back, so don't go away. If you want to send us some of your questions, you can ask the boys, you can ask the girls, you can ask us both. 314-241-9797. Text Ryan right now at 314-241-9797. And we'll field your questions next. We'll get the results to the YouTube poll as well. I voted for Trump and fill in the blank. He's exceeded my expectations. He's met my expectations. He's failed my expectations. Or I didn't vote for Trump. Annie Fry YouTube channel to vote on that. You can leave your questions in the chat there as well. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Mark Cox. Let's support our first responders. Inter-Responder Rescue's ATF raffle. Prizes include top shelf bourbon, a lit cigar lounge VIP night, and a CZ P10 pistol from the range. Text responder to 33100 to enter today.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, with cooler weather moving in, don't put yourself at risk for a power outage. Get a free estimate on a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. This is all about giving yourself peace of mind by calling now for a free estimate. You won't have to worry about waiting on hold with the power company. No more worrying about your home when you're away. Get a free estimate on a generator from Generator Supercenter of St. Louis. Financing is available. 314-499-2020. Generator Supercenter of St. Louis.com.
Did you know that 60% of adults over 20 avoid going to the dentist due to deep fear of dental treatment? Knowing that many of our chronic health problems can be directly related to the harmful bacteria in our mouth, not going to the dentist can be very dangerous. Hi, this is Dr. Michael White. I've been helping the dental anxiety patient for over 20 years with anxiety-free sedation. This is very effective and very affordable. Call my office at 314-270-8552. That's 314-270-8552.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, so a little X's and Y's action on a Wednesday because we were celebrating our veterans yesterday. I hope you were able to do the same. We're asking for your X's and Y's questions, which is a segment we generally do at about 2:30 on Tuesday, and we're just asking, boys and girls, girls and boys. There are two genders. Let's try to understand them a little bit better. Ryan, you said you have some questions from the text line at 314-241-9797. Why don't you give us the first one?
First one is, do girls go to the bathroom with the doors open once comfortable with their spouses?
Yeah, I think so. Like in my house, when you've got a 4-year-old or like a toddler or whatever, there's just zero privacy. You lose all of that.
In our house, it was the opposite. When you went to the bathroom, that was a place of sanctuary from the toddler.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It isn't.
So in my house, the answer is no. That never happened and still does not happen.
I think that people also, you're understanding that like girls sit down to go pee, so it's like a little bit like, yeah.
I don't kick the door open and go, which number?
I feel like when you say that, there's an implication that you're thinking of it from the male determination of like going to the bathroom. I think that like for men, it's like on your calendar.
Well,
we'll be back. I got this 30-minute window here.
I niced this question up a little bit because it was not go to the bathroom. It was poop.
So that's what I'm saying. I could understand that's where you were saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right then.
And I think that there is a little bit of a difference there. But your privacy, like once you're sitting on the toilet to do whatever you're doing on the toilet, if somebody comes in,
You can say poop with a French accent. It sounds fine.
I don't know that. I think the French are offended.
Poop.
Next question.
Next one from the text line is, sometimes you go, what is my job? Is this what I do?
That's what I'm asking myself right now.
I was just waiting to hear how you were going to say it. I had genuinely no idea going in.
For the ladies, this question comes and says, what is the number of pairs of shoes one would own before it's a problem? This could apply to guys too, because I do know a few guys who just love varieties,
like
of
tennis shoes, even
sneakers.
See, I don't think you have a shoe problem unless you have a space problem, or most importantly, a money problem. If you can afford shoes and you're super into shoes and you have a place to put the shoes, get as many shoes as you can responsibly afford. I don't think that there's like a quantity of shoes that is okay. Now you've got a significant problem, because if you have 4 pairs of Air Max shoes that are $140 a pop or something like that, and you put them all on a credit card and you're paying interest every month and minimum payments, you have 4 too many pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think women have? I have too many shoes. I need to get rid of shoes. I don't know why I don't. I have shoes that I will never wear again in my closet right now.
I think there is I don't know if it's a number, it's a definitive number, but there is a line that says if you have shoes that you have multiple pair that are for the same type of occasion, that's enough. You don't need more pairs of shoes.
Give me an example.
Well, okay, these are my shoes for when I go to play pickleball. Okay, you got specific shoes for that, fine. These are my shoes for when I go out and we go dancing. Okay, great. If you have multiple pickleball shoes or multiple dancing shoes, that's enough.
But what if you want to have some black pumps and some camel colored pumps or something like that? Like you have to have different colors.
Well,
for
if
different
that's
outfits.
for different events, that's still...
No, it's not. You go dancing. Let's talk to the color expert here, Brad. How many color pumps do you need to have?
I don't have pumps, but I've got black dress shoes, I've got brown dress shoes, and I've got blue dress shoes, and they all match my suits differently. You've got to match.
What occasion would you choose a blue suit over a black suit?
That's just however I feel. So, like, for example, if I'm going to a funeral, I'll probably wear a black suit because that's generally what you wear. But if I'm going to a formal event, if I'm feeling like I want to wear my blue suit with the checks on it, then I'll wear that. Or if I think, I'm going to wear the black suit, it's 100% how I'm feeling about what I want to wear there.
What about my pickleball example? That was a really good one. It needs to be addressed. Annie.
I don't play pickleball. I think I would love it.
You want to play?
It's very fun.
With you? I could beat you.
No.
I've never played.
Not this again.
Yeah, if you
Here
play
we
pickleball
go.
from the girls'
All right,
teams.
Brad, let's just walk out of studio.
Yeah, I think they should just put some skin in the game.
Have you ever played pickleball?
In high school, I did. I loved it. I haven't played it since.
Ethan?
Yeah, I play pickleball relatively often. I really enjoy it.
What is the closest game to pickleball? Is it ping pong tennis?
I would say it is the in-between version of them, yes. because I think that I personally use the paddle more like you would in ping pong, but the size is closer, obviously, to tennis of the court.
Size matters.
It's true.
One more question here.
Usually the people who need to prove that point talk about it the most. Go on.
One more question here from Doug. Somebody in the chat said size matters. It wasn't me. I'm reading that from, let's see, I'm going to make up a name.
Pivot!
Daryl said that.
Daryl, the regular Daryl in our chat.
Okay, X's and O's. When giving directions, why do women prefer landmarks over north, east, south, west?
Do you struggle with what those letters stand for? I don't. I have an uncanny ability to always know what direction west is.
I prefer landmarks, so.
And that's why this works, folks. I don't know. I think landmarks are easier to not get messed up if you know that there's like a Emo's on the corner and you say it's across the street from Emo's. I don't know why that's so difficult. Isn't it kind of pretentious to talk about directions in that way?
Could say it's on the street east of Emo's, though.
YouTube live chat poll results. Can you you got them up there?
Yeah.
Hurry.
47% say he exceeded expectations.
That's hilarious.
41% say met, 6 for failed, and 5 for didn't vote.
Oh, guys, he's doing fine. Just give him some time. Mark Reard, next.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com for your basement waterproofing concerns. You want to make a phone call and you want to get to it sooner than later because those types of problems, if you don't take care of them, eventually it's going to cause a much more expensive problem that you're going to have to fix. So reach out to Matt Hayes and do it right away. 314-227-9636. Call 314-227-9636 and connect with Matt Hayes. This local family-owned company is going to come to your basement. They're going to be able to assess your particular needs, your situation, and give you a customized response so that your problem is actually solved. That water, when it comes into your basement, when the rain is in the forecast, you will not have to worry any longer about those issues plaguing your basement. It's going to get fixed. It's going to get fixed right. And don't forget, it comes with a lifetime warranty. That basement waterproofing you can trust with Home Shield Foundation Repair. Call 314-227-9636 online at HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
For 100 years, KMOX has been part of St. Louis. Now, Together Credit Union is helping celebrate that legacy. Starting in November, visit any Together Credit Union branch to pick up a KMOX 100th anniversary commemorative ornament for just $5.